Gents, how are we doing? You all right?
I was expecting something bigger there.
Was you?
Yeah.
I took a big gulp and a breath, didn't I?
You almost went
breath.
into song. Gents, how you doing?
Yeah, it's good now, isn't it?
All right, mate. Yeah,
Yeah,
you?
good.
Seem more energetic this week.
Yeah.
Diet going well?
Can you not tell?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not
But
yet.
you just seem...
Lost half a stone, you know.
Have you?
Yeah.
I'll tell the jokes. I've got a fucking 12-inch cock.
I've lost half a
Since
stone
when?
in a week and a half.
So since we got back from
Yeah.
Dublin.
It's a mirror, though. I can see
Do you feel better for it?
Yeah.
You've just had a shave. We've turned into a bit of a fitness
Podcast.
We had a video from you yesterday, working out in the garden,
Yeah,
which was good, inspirational, I thought.
Yeah.
I don't know about you.
Do you like the music?
Music was good.
Yeah. Well, I said I was going to do some workout in garden. And then Rose said, "Oh, I'll come and sit outside with you." And then she said, "Oh," and just as I was going out, she said, "Oh, I've got an appointment, hairdressers I forgot about it." I said, "Well, do you want me to do your video with my shut off in garden so you're not missing out?" Joking. And she said, "Oh yeah," like, "Oh, joking." So then I thought, well, I've got to send her a video now, haven't I? So I thought the boys will want to see this as well.
You need a kind of diet coat, didn't you? You know that one?
I liked how low your shorts were riding as well as you were getting the dumbbell above your head.
Well, if you've lost a stone and a half, they'll be dropping off.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The size
What
40
cords
shorts
coming
as
out?
well.
We had an upload from you, your first workout. It was just a picture though, and you looked like you were working hard.
Oh, hi. Damn couple of beads of sweat there.
Spilt his drink.
First one in the bank, lads. It's going to be a long road.
That was just my meter. I just spilled my drink.
Sweating blood.
No, to be fair, I was struggling with my hay fever. By the way, this is a serious note. If anybody struggles from hay fever, go and get the injection. It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
I had it last week and it's sensational.
Can you get it on the NHS?
Nah, it cost me it's £75, well, up to 80 kilograms. So after that, they advised more. So obviously, I went in for.
You went for a booster. He's only man who's been for an hay fever booster.
I went in for 225 quid. But to be fair, Kenalog it's called. It's absolutely sensational. I couldn't breathe a week and a half ago.
What are you going on about? I think have they given you for free?
No.
Kenalog, if anybody hasn't heard.
No,
Kenalog.
this is me
I'll just spell that for you on the website.
This is me just being nice. If you struggle and you can do it. It's good, very good.
Big Sam in the hot seat now. Are you happy? No.
He's got 3 games really, Annie, because they're going to get dicked by Man City.
Oh, you never know.
I'm telling you, they're going to get dicked by Man City.
Did you see his press conference? I
I
love him, mate. I love him. He's just unapologetic, doesn't care. He took the pressure off the lads.
It was just when he said nobody's got anything on me, and I was waiting for him to say like because he's 68. I've been in the game longer than anybody, but I think he actually meant managerial ability.
Yeah. Top dog. I don't know if he believes it, but I like it.
Do you know what I want to happen? I want Leeds to lose every game, but still stay up, and he gets the £2 million bonus, whatever.
That could theoretically happen, couldn't it?
Yeah.
I don't think it will, but
They've got like 10 goals better or something.
they're on level
he'll
points,
keep him
aren't
up.
they?
Like, he gets all this stick,
Yeah.
but I think he'll keep him up.
I just think, why have you not done it 5 games ago and get him 9 games?
Well,
Whoa, what a stressful weekend.
here we go.
When you get 3 missed calls off the beginning, 5 minutes, you know something's wrong.
Go on.
So
Tell us your woes.
I've told you already, Anna. So I had an after dinner, right, in Carnoustie.
Where?
Saturday night. Carnoustie, Dundee. 360 miles from Barnsley. So I thought I'd set up about 9 o'clock, 9:30. Get up there for 2. Have a couple of hours kipping and relax, and that perfect. Gets to Scotch Corner, a nice little one of these like farm shop jobbies. Oh, there's something to eat in there. So I had something to eat. Pulls out this farm shop. You see this big bang, boom. I thought I'd.
It was a boom, not bang.
It was a bang boom. I thought I'd actually hit somebody, right? Because it just went boom. Anyway, So, cut a long story short, I fucking broke down, and
What's your procedure when you're in that situation? Do you pop bonnet? And have a
pop
look?
bonnet, yeah.
Because he won't have a fucking clue what's going on.
But he's not afraid to get his hands dirty, Chris.
Right,
You
yeah.
know that.
Mrs. told me to put bonnet, and she's identified the problem straight away, right?
Did you say she FaceTime because she works in a garage?
She FaceTime work, right? Somebody at work, and she looked and she said, "Oh yeah, the air inlet pipe's blown off. You should be able to put it back on." So fucking Kevin Webster here
I can just imagine him now.
gets all
With
this
builder's bum out.
gets all this air inlet pipe, tried shoving it back on, looked at my hands, black breed, absolutely filth, like caked, an inch in oil. Gets back to the gaff, phones the RAC, they're going to be 2 hours, so I need to set off to Scotland because obviously I've got this dinner, it's time dependent. So I phones Brownie, obviously he never answers. 3 missed calls later and a phone me ASAP, which I thought should seal
If
the
you
deal.
need us, ring us 3 times.
Seal the deal. So luckily, I've got a taxi. Well, not luckily, I've got a taxi from Scott's Corner to
Horton.
Sunderland.
Yeah.
80 quid. Right. Borrowed Bomber's car. So
Your dad's.
borrowed his dad's car. Drove the rest of the way. Got to Dundee.
Wash your hands.
No, well, yeah, but again, in this fucking fancy cafe job, one of them where you put your hand under and it comes on for about 3 seconds. And as I say, I'm caked. So I've lost my head in there.
You give him a good wash though before you drove Chris's dad's
Oh,
car.
I got as
didn't
much as I could have. I did the after dinner
Yeah.
with black hands. Right?
you got a beige steering wheel. Your dad.
It's because I've not got beige leather on it. So I get just outside Dundee and I realise I forgot my shoes. Right? So it's just, everything's just going again on top of me now. So I thought, right, I just get some cheap shoes from Asda. So I went to Asda, looked on the shelf at Asda, there's 2 pair of shoes, the most horrendous things you've ever fucking seen. You know, like unwearable, right? My missus says, look, you got to buy them. I said, what the fuck am I supposed to do with them? And it's first time I think in 2.5 years I've proper snapped at her. What the fuck am I going to do with them? So anyway, I ended up finding a shop in Dundee, got ripped off for some shoes.
How much do you pay for shoes?
100 quid. But they're nice.
So were you thinking long term you'd wear them again?
Oh, I will wear them again. Fucking, my words. I will wear them again.
We both said, didn't we? We'd wear
I'll go with the Asda.
12 quid and swallowing it.
Yeah. I
Looking
reckon,
like a sack of shit.
I reckon I can get a couple of words out of it as well. Wedding next week.
It's not very often I get stressed, but I'd fucking love
Yeah, I
my
can
shit.
see it. I can hear
Sounds
it
like-
in your tone.
Yeah. Sounds like Katie tipped you over the edge saying you need to get them shoes.
Yeah.
I think that was the main problem of the day, to be honest. The shoes didn't even go with my jacket and my jeans, looked to right twats,
What,
right?
the ones that
They
you
brown?
bought?
Yeah, did they fuck?
Brown shoes.
No, the white pumps type
White?
thing. Yeah, the pumpy things.
Oh, they're not like proper 1s and 2s.
No, pumpy things. The only thing I got. The only 11s he had it shot. So basically, I did the do and I fucking lost fucking 200 quid. But apart from that, it was a good weekend.
Who did we have last week?
Who did we have last week? We had
Bayo.
Big Bayo.
Yeah. Full of energy.
Yeah, great
Bought
guy,
it,
innit?
didn't he?
Yeah.
Great guy.
A lot of people have enjoyed it. Who've we got this week?
Paul Caddis.
Paul Caddis, recently employed Paul Caddis.
Yeah, just got a job at Hereford.
He has. That's a fucking strange old place, that
And
Hereford, isn't it?
It's planned, obviously. It's I can't remember how many years to the day that he scored that goal that's saved Birmingham.
9?
Today?
9 years. No,
Last week, wasn't it?
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Good timing.
Yeah, perfect.
Planned.
That is, that Hereford, that is a place where your cousins kiss, that, by the way.
Where
You
is it?
can't say that, John.
I'm telling you.
Where is it?
North Wales, is it?
No, it's near North Wales.
Nearly in Wales, just on the
Yeah.
border, but that's where...
Bristol, yeah.
If there's any people from Hereford, I'm really sorry, but that's where your cousins kiss.
More Di Canio, innit?
More Di Canio,
and-
more Gravesen. Again, a lot of the it's almost the same career path as Cy Ferry up to. Obviously, went to
Swindon, innit?
Swindon with him, came through with him at Celtic, but then obviously went on to Birmingham and scored that goal that kept him up.
Talking of lookalikes,
I just thought I was just sending a message there.
scientists at Harvard University have drawn images showing what Gollum from Lord of the Rings would look like had he had been human. and someone's tagged Undr The Cosh, ain't that the bloke from Undr The Cosh? Not Baldy, Chris, that bloke.
That bloke.
And it's a very, very striking resemblance.
That is absolutely shit.
So, yeah, a bit more facial hair, and that's you.
That's the fat version. Fat version of Gollum.
No, he looks a bit gaunt.
I think he looks better than you.
Couple of weeks. I'm telling you.
Ain't that the bloke? Like, it was like...
Ain't that the bloke?
I can't remember his name, but...
If you're watching this on YouTube, by the way, if you wouldn't mind giving us a subscribe if you already haven't, because we're just not quite getting to that 100,000, so it'd be great if you could hit that button.
What's the percentage?
40% of people who watch the videos aren't subscribed.
Is that right?
That's right. So
just press it. It don't matter if you
they never watch another one.
Yeah, just press it.
It's just nice if you do, isn't
please.
Be nice if you can.
Should we get him in?
Yeah.
And we'll have that fillet steak.
Get the important stuff out of the way first.
Yeah, straight in.
How many Maltese and mini bunnies did he eat in one day?
Oh, I don't.
Who's that from?
Corey Evans, that.
Probably about 20. I've got an addictive personality, innit? See now, when you mention that, it makes me feel sick. I'll probably nip into that toilet.
The bunnies?
Oh,
the bunny problem?
Horrendous. Used to love them. Used to absolutely battle them, but nah.
I can't picture them. What normal Maltese are?
In the bunny shape.
They're so big.
Little red things. Oh,
it's like what comes with an egg, I think.
And you had 20 of them?
Red packet.
Oh, I used to bar them.
Was this Blackburn?
No, just general life, mate. Just went through a stage of just barting them, and I can't even think of them now.
Did you start off at normal Maltesers and then move on to the
I don't
bunny?
mind normal Maltesers, but they ones were unbelievable at the time. But
have you shook it off now?
I'll never eat them again. Like the kids are not allowed them in the house.
No take them off them?
Aye, they're not allowed them in the house. No chance. Nah. Or if they do, they hide them, and I don't know about them.
Where did that come from then?
Just run a bit.
Just
tried it on. Just tried it one day and loved it. I've got an addictive personality though, so like if I like something, I'll be all over it. Like we'll probably touch on things later on, but like I went on a certain diet that I couldn't get off it and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? It's just I've got that personality.
Was it vegan?
The Malteser diet?
Just a vegan diet?
No, I wish it was a Malteser diet. No. Yeah, the vegan one. Aye.
Still going strong with it?
No, does it look like it? No.
What did you eat?
That's one in Miller and Carter now.
I ate my jam sandwiches for fucking about 8 months, solid. I'm the fussiest guy ever, right? So I like what I like, but vegan is fucking dreadful. I don't know how anyone can be vegan, but I managed it for 8 months, but I just ate jam sandwiches and
just jam butties every day?
Chickpeas and all that shit. For 8 months. That was the worst part of my career, because genuinely, see, after about 45, 50 minutes in a game, I couldn't move.
I'm not
I had no energy. Nothing at all. That's why I was horrendous at Blackburn.
Chuck us another jam sandwich on.
Fucking honestly.
I can understand going vegan, like, and getting the nutritional value from certain things, but you're not getting that with jam butties.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Jam sandwiches was my life, morning, noon and night.
How many are you doing in a day?
Fucking about 6 probably. Just eating jam sandwiches, but it was just I've got a mad mindset.
Is this after the Malteser bunnies?
Aye. Malteser bunnies was earlier on in life. I was about 16 or 17.
The good old days.
Back in the good old days. And then vegan was at Blackburn probably about 5-6 years ago. We all done it. Do you remember that thing, What the Health, on Netflix? Everybody jumped on it.
Was Elliot Ward with you then?
Wardy was there.
I think he might have been starting to do it.
We all done it. Corey Evans, Charlie Mulgrew, we all jumped on it. But sure enough, they stopped after 3 months because they felt horrendous. I'm like, nah, I'm staying on this. I was a fat cunt though, so I was
Yeah, but after 3 months, do you not realise it weren't working?
I was, but my body was looking quality.
As long as you look good, Chris.
Yeah.
Just kept going, so I'd never been this low in my life, like body fat wise. My body fat was always 18, 19, my full career. I remember getting down to like 10, which some people would still think shite, but I was buzzing. It was like 10, just eating jam sandwiches every day. I'm like, this is class.
The thing is, the food at Blackburn was spot on.
Brilliant.
What did you do?
Just asked them for a loaf of bread. And
Did you have a jam?
Nah, the odd time at Blackburn, because they knew there was so many jumping on it, they would make a couple of vegan dishes. So I would just jump on that, but I couldn't be asked going to supermarkets when I get home and checking labels and all that. So just jam sandwiches were easier.
you ever
Mrs. not going mad. Get your sticky fingers
Sometimes
off
toast.
me.
Said you ever
I
make
treat
it to
myself
toast?
at night. I treat myself at night, make it warm with a bit of toast, cup of tea with fucking oats milk and all that.
To be fair, you must have been easy to cook for.
Ah, easy. Piece of piss. Couple of loaves. The cupboards were full of loaves.
Super.
Back to the start, mate. You started at Celtic. Were you at Rangers before?
Yeah, as a young lad, I was at Rangers right up until I was about 14, 15, then went to Celtic. I was a Celtic fan, but to be honest, when I went to Celtic, I regretted it massively. Rangers was just about enjoying myself and having fun and that, and then went to Celtic and it was a lot more serious. So the first couple of weeks, I was fucking devastated, but it grew into me.
Soon settle in though.
Settled in, went full time, back end of 15, 16 year old, and loved it for there. Absolutely loved it. Brilliant days, academy days on it.
Take them for granted, I think.
You do.
Would you actually do jobs and that back then? Or?
Aye.
Yeah.
I still believe I was probably at my 34, the last of the old school days, if you know what I mean. Like, still had to do boots, had to wash balls, getting flung into kit hampers and rolling about the dressing room and
Terrorised.
Terrorised. Like the first team at the time was Chris Sutton, John Hartson, Neil Lennon, Stan Petrov, and they used to. So they would travel for Celtic Park down to Barrowfield where we get changed, but to come in with like a bag of balls each, so like 12 balls each, 36 balls, turn the lights off in the academy dressing room and just shout, "Take cover," and just fucking welly balls. She'd be sitting in the corner like that. They'd go out and you'd fucking, they'd leave and the lights would go back on, but guys with fucking eyes like that, burst lips, just fucking.
So just get in the middle and just lash balls about?
Just lash balls a bit. It was like 4 walls, so it was just fucking bouncing everywhere. You just had to
The thing
take
is,
cover.
there's a chance that hitting you in the face as well, isn't there?
But they were clever. They stood at the door, right at the door, and just fucking launched them. And very rare it would hit the wall because it would zing them quite like mid-height. So you're either getting it there or there. Class. So
Some big hitters there as well. What were they like apart from that? You know, when you start training with them and that?
really good, brilliant. Like even when we worked, so Forays used to do kit on a match day. Forays used to do like just tidy the dressing room basically. They were always really good. Centres would ask you to go to the bank for them. For instance, they would ask you to lift 300 quid. They only wanted 100. They'd give you 200. So you're buzzing, like really good with us. But I remember my first time when I trained with them, it was John Hartson. We're doing a crossing and finishing thing, and I've played this unbelievable ball, and it was fucking. Well, I thought it was unbelievable. Right in there, ready for him to fucking to volley. It's like I whipped it to volley, and he went down and caught it. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? And he's went, oi, I'm fucking 6 foot high, I'm 6 foot wide, put the fucking ball in the air, I don't want it in my fucking feet, you stupid little cunt. I was like,
how old were you then?
17.
You thought this is a good ball?
I thought it was a fucking great ball. Wrapped it right in.
Did you tell him that?
Did I? I was just looking at everybody as if, can someone help me? Like, is anything going to say anything?
I'm crumbling there.
Crumbling.
At that age.
Crumbling. But they were really good. They were, apart from that, they were really good. Brilliant.
Did you ever check balance? You know, when you're going.
Chris Sutton used to say to us, oh, youngin, take a seat with you. I know you've checked my balance and it's just for whenever you faint, it'll soften your landing. But nah, genuinely, hand on heart, never did. I wish I did though. Fucking hell, I think that was when they were big hitters and all.
What was he like, Sutton? Because I think his personality's just starting to come out now.
He was,
I always thought he was a tool, to be honest.
No, he was really good. He was horrible, like to us young lads, nasty as fuck. Like everything was youngin, like, oh youngin, when you're fucking 18 and you're working McDonald's, make sure you give my kids extra fries, and just one of the guys, like, you'll fucking never make it here, you're shite. But that was just the grounding back then, wasn't it? That was normal. Yeah. I loved it.
Did some lads crumble?
Some would thrive off it. We had a couple of young boys that were fucking settled quicker than snow. Like, we'd never go into the dressing room, but they'd go into the dressing room, and we had a boy, Michael Gardine, I don't know if Si might have spoke about Midge actually, the fucking boldest guy ever. So first team are doing you'd only been 16, 17, 18, first team are doing a gym session. I'm talking Chris Sutton, Henrik Larsson, Neil Lennon, Stan Petrov, Bobo Baldy. Fucking Baldy had muscles coming out his ears and everything. So they're all doing stuff and he's just running, like ball it naked. Boys dared him like 10 each, 10 head, ball it naked. Aye, fuck it, I'll do it. Started doing pull-ups, fucking cotton balls flying about everywhere. He's just pulling up going, I should be playing in this team, I'm the fucking best player in this team. Just fucking, I can't, but like some boys loved it, but some struggled.
Yeah.
Some struggled. They were, again though, they were horrible, but we enjoyed it. Like Alan Thompson, they're two of the academy boys, Paul McGowan, I can't remember another one, gave 500 quid, going, the two physios are upstairs right now having lunch. I want you to fucking ransack the place. I want tables upside down, I want tape wrapped around chairs, I want the place, I want massage cream all over the walls. The two of them went in and abused the place, like wrecked it. The Thomas went upstairs and went, by the way, to the two physios, two young lads in your room fucking ransacking the place, you better get down. Stitched them right up. Two of them bombed in, nearly get sacked. But they had to go and tell, like Tommy Burns was the head of youth at the time, and say, listen, we dared them. But
did he pay up?
He paid up, aye. They were always good for it, really good, like see at Christmas and that, they were brilliant.
What was the manager like, Strachan, with you and the young lads?
With me, it was weird with Strachan. If he didn't hammer you, you knew he didn't like you. Like he was on me non-stop. He was one of the ones, he was on me non-stop. Like, so I was probably the only one that came out of my academy that was training with him every day.
And did you realise that then?
No.
Like, when he's hammering you, are you thinking he's, no?
Even when I'm training, even when like there's 18 academy boys and I'm the only one training, I'm still thinking, he's just coming up, I'm just coming up here so he can just fucking abuse me.
Yeah.
So like just then, like little fucking technique drills and that, he'd be like, everyone look at Caddy, he's making a cunt of it. I'm like, and then like going in for lunch and stuff like that, Gary Pendrew's assistant, remember one time going in for lunch and the places went quiet, he's like, Caddy. I went, hey, he went, how tall are you? I went, 5'7", 5'8", I don't know. All right, didn't know they made shit that size. In front of everyone, I'm like, oh, fucking hell. But he was brilliant with me, gave him a debut, played with Scotland under him, so he was really good with me. Apart from fucking bullying me for 3 years.
It is right though, you do sink or swim, don't you?
You do. That's why I think it's
Like you say, it's going either way though, innit?
I would love it to go back to that way.
Yeah.
Boys, like I work with Fleetwood Academy, I know the 18s do jobs and that, but they do nothing there compared to what they used to.
I think it's better the old way.
Yeah, much better. That's why they're all little assholes now.
Yeah.
It is, they're all chirpy and too much too young and all the rest of it. And like nowadays, academies are almost built beside first teams, aren't they? So you lose that familiarity and that nervousness and that probably you idolise a lot of boys in first team. And you don't see that now because they've probably grew up with them like the last 3 or 4 years, went in for lunch just after they leave. Like we would never go in for lunch until every first year team player had left the building. Not just lunch, it would be like 2:30 sometimes, 3 o'clock before we were getting lunch because it would still be maybe one of the first team players were still in the gym. And I think that's the way it should be. It's a first team's building. That's the way I see it. But nowadays it's becoming too snowflakey.
Maintains that respect, I suppose.
There's something for you to strive to and all to get to, innit? I want to get to that.
Aye.
I mean, like, I used to get the young lads at York to shave me back and that, and they hated it. Like they couldn't do any more of a job, so I just was getting them to shave me back. So
Can you imagine just opening the door and he's there, sprawled up table with Mac 3.
But Carson used to do that. Big Carson used to trim his balls and we had to fucking move his balls out the way to sweep them. Who's that? Big John Hartson. Used to fucking trim up and all these ginger pubes and like that.
I obviously had Si Ferry on and you good mates. Still, what were you like?
Brilliant.
As a young lad.
What a character.
Did you come through with him?
Yeah, I came
Same
through.
age?
You were lucky. I had, well, Si was a bit old. No, me and Si were the same age actually, but Si had a lot of injuries when he was younger. But the year above us was Big Charlie McGrew was in it. And the two best characters, well, 3. The Snoddy as well, but Snoddy wasn't there, but I've came across Snoddy quite a lot. But they two were brilliant. Just light up any room, just never a dull day, never a dull moment, just constantly on the go, cracking jokes. It was... Youth team was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And you're right, you take it for granted, didn't you?
Were you the first one to break through then? From your age?
From my age, there was me and Si was the two that were kind of run about the first team. But as I said, Si kept getting bad injuries with his ankle and stuff like that. I couldn't get it right. But it was mainly me at that age, aye. Which was tough because normally when you break in, you've always got somebody that's there beside you or a familiar face and stuff like that. But nah, I remember the first couple of times I went up, I was just literally going up to be a linesman. Doing 11v11s and I was just doing the line.
you got the call over?
I got the call up and I was buzzing. Like later on I was like, yeah, I'm going to get involved here. Threw a bib, I'm like, ready to put it in, I just do the line, me man. Something like that. No matter what you done,
Bibbing your flags
like,
over there.
Fuck off, he's never offside. The strikers be gone mad, centre halves be gone mad. So that was just part of the ground, and I think that's what Strachan, like that was Strachan. He just seen something in me and thought, I'm going to fucking ground him into proper, like, he sent me on loan, and the first thing he said to me was, in fact, it was the only thing he said, he brought me in and went, you're going on loan, go and get a personality, fuck off. And that was it. And then he called me back in about 3 days later and went, Dundee United or Hibs? And that was the 2 words. I went, what? He went, just pick one. I went, Dundee United. I went, okay. Craig Levine will phone you at 3. See you, son. I was gone for like 4 months.
Did you come back with one?
I came back, aye.
With a personality?
With a personality. I was a fucking great cunt after that. But that was him. Like, I just had to go and play in first team environment.
Did you like him?
I loved him. Aye. I was weird,
isn't it?
It's weird. Like, I really, really liked him, aye, because it's probably known until I actually left. Like, and still to this day, he'll text and ask how I am and stuff like that. And no, it was really good. Like, as a manager, he was brilliant tactically and stuff like that. It was really good for me, but it's weird because he fucking abused me for years, but I loved him. I absolutely loved him.
What was Killen like?
Oh, what a guy Big Kipper was. Him and Scott Brown were good mates, but Kipper was one of the guys you'd be at the bar a night out and the cop would slip out the side of the trousers and piss on you, and that was one of the guys.
Sounds like great, that.
He was a brilliant guy. one of the guys, like, with a couple of Japanese boys that was at Celtic at the time, and they'd be running like hot baths with a bit of foam burst in it to try and get some bubbles, but so they would go and run the bath, go back, get their gear off, ready to go in it, and Kipper would go and shit in it, but you couldn't see it because where the bubbles were there. So they'd jump in and get bathed in a fucking shitey bath. But they wouldn't know about it until they'd let the drain out, and once they'd let the drain out, just a turd sitting there. It's one of the guys, but brilliant. Really, really good guy. It's good to share dressing rooms with people like that. And
what was his, did he used to piss in a bag or something? Killing.
Oh, Kipper, aye. So when the first team were driving, as I said, they used to drive down to Barrafield to train. It was a 5-minute drive, you're lucky, but you used to get an ice bag and Barrafield at training run and piss in it and pierce it with a fork, so the piss flying everywhere. So you'd be driving and he'd shout you and you'd roll down the window and he'd be like, roll down your window. So you'd roll down your window and he'd throw a bit of just a bit of blank paper. Throw a bit of blank paper and you'd be like, what the fuck's that? And as you bend down to pick the paper up, he throws a bag of piss in. And there's piss in your car going squirting everywhere and that, and you're like, oh fuck. But he's one of the guys just to all the piss buckets, you know, it's like at the hotels, piss in the bucket, sit at an angle, shut the door, the fucking piss goes everywhere.
Oh, great fun.
See, I don't mind a bit of that.
You were thinking that's a good shout.
Yeah, I don't mind a bit of that.
I loved all that. It's horrible, but I loved it all.
Yeah. Was is it Nakamura?
Oh, what a magician he was, man. Left foot fucking was unbelievable. He used to have a wee... Listen, he said he couldn't speak English, but he used to, everything that was going on and people saying stuff and that, he was pissing himself laughing. So he could understand, but he just kept his wee translator in a job, basically. He used to just have him as a goalie every session. He'd put him in goals and just whip free kicks, and his left foot was honestly ridiculous. We trained one day and it was really heavy snow. The pitch was getting covered and balls going everywhere, like fucking Scottish people, touches going everywhere. Normally in a fucking grass pitch, but in snow even worse. So somebody switched the ball to Naka and he's went to take a touch and it's just maybe went half an inch too far. Strachan's blew the whistle, went, right, everyone in you get. If you can't control it, none of you can, in you go. That was it, session over. But he was a magician, mate. Magician. Scored that unbelievable goal in the Champions League against Man United for about fucking 300 yards out. It's unbelievable.
It's mad though, because not many people would have even heard of him, Dan.
That's the thing.
I know you
Yeah.
have.
Oh, is it?
Shunsuke Nakamura. A lot of people ask me the best player I've played with, and I'll say Shunsuke Nakamura. Like, nobody's heard of him. He just retired about a year ago, about 45. He used to come in at half time, actually. And do you know the proper ice bucket, ice machines, like the big ice baths where you press the thing and it fired out the constant water? So with one of them, and he used to go and sit in that at half time while Strachan was taking the team talk. He used to just sit in there with his gear on, come back out, get dried up and put his gear back on. He'd come in at like 9:30 in the morning, spend 3 hours stretching in the gym and all that. I'm like, fucking grow up, mate, but that's what busy bastard. I wouldn't leave the fucking stadium at 9 o'clock at night. I'm like, just go home and get a fucking chicken curry or something.
Go home and have some Maltesers. Or a jam sandwich.
What was your diet like? I know after the bunnies, like when you started.
I wouldn't even say back then, like from fucking 15 to the day, like my diet was, I fell out with every single sports scientist I worked with and every physio. But after maybe the first 3 months I'd have a horrendous relationship with them, then after that they got to know me. The diet was horrendous. Never had a pre-match. Didn't like pre-match. Like, I used to hate going to hotels and the Friday night you'd end up with chicken and pasta, and then you'd wake up the next day at 11:30 and you would eat the same again. I'm like, fuck that.
What did you do then?
Have a massive breakfast, massive fry up, like massive, everything on it, big heavy breakfast, and then that would be me to kick off.
So at the start, the sports science would be like, you can't do that.
Gary Rowett's first day, he came in the Friday. We trained the Friday, and then we went to hotel on the Friday night. The Saturday morning, he was literally sitting there, and I filled my plate up as a day with fucking bacon, sausage, hash browns, fucking fried bread, everything. Just packed this plate up, and I can see him, and he's thinking, that's not for him. Right? And I fucking 2 cup of tea, finished half of it, another cup of tea, spanked it. Like, that's what I used to do, and then played the game, and then the next, on the Monday, pulled me. Withdrew the game, actually. Pulled me, he's like, you always do that? I was like, what do you mean? He's like, Saturday morning. I went, what did I do Saturday morning? Like, oblivious to it.
Yeah.
Your breakfast was fucking, that would feed about 8. I was like, I said, I know, but I don't have a pre-match. He's like, but that's horrendous. I went, listen, just please trust me. Like, I never ever get injured. My full career, I never get injured. I done my shoulder. Dislocated my shoulder, never had muscle injury. Well, I did, but didn't believe in scans and that. Mate, my mindset's fucking mental. I was a weirdo. Didn't believe in scans or anything like that. I ate the worst food ever. Used to just crack on with anything I ever had. I used to train every single day. I never missed anything.
What do you mean you didn't believe in scans? Like?
Oh, I hated that. I used to think that...
What's this witchcraft?
It's a load of shit. I'm telling you, physios will treat what a scan says rather than how I felt.
Yeah.
So I'd had, like, throughout my career, I had hammy injury and stuff like that. I used to just strap it up till I basically couldn't feel it. I used to go into the pitch with fucking purple knees, the blood had stopped and all that. But I used to just have that mindset. I used to think that physios would always treat what the scan says rather than what I felt.
I think you're right though. I remember going for a scan. I came off on the Saturday and they sent us for a scan that said I had a 14 centimetre tear. And I just went for a good massage and I was fit for the Saturday.
There you go.
And they were like, that's impossible. You've got a 14 centimetre tear.
So I hated them, hated scans. Baffling, innit?
Fucking weirdo.
I know, absolute weirdo. That was my mindset. I just never wanted to miss training, never wanted to miss games.
I bet the managers loved that.
Managers did,
he's playing with a tear in his hamstring.
Managers did, but fucking physios and sports science hated it. Hated it. I was a fat cunt, my body fat.
18%.
I played for Scotland when I was 19%. And that was my argument all the time. When people used to pull me in, I was like, I played for Scotland when I was 19%.
You feel?
I'm a fat cunt, but I don't get it. Played with Jonathan Spector, for instance, just off the top of my head. Probably never had a fucking Happy Meal, never mind a proper McDonald's in his life. He was never fit. Was in the gym every day, done everything right, done everything by the book. Was never fit. And my argument was like, I do everything wrong, but I'm fucking always on the pitch. Just leave it.
I agree with what you're saying.
Like, there's too much now into what you eat and stuff. I'd have a Chinese a Friday night, and I'd heat that Chinese up for the night before on the Saturday morning, and have that for my food, and be fine. And again, for my breakfast. Honestly,
to be fair, I'm not got on left on a Saturday morning. I've done a lot in Friday night.
I used to order double though, just so I knew that something. No, honestly, like, there's too much now into nutrition and all that stuff in the gym, and I hated the gym. Never done the gym my full career.
And looking back now, would you change anything?
Nah, I don't. Nah, why would I? Nah, I enjoy my career.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, put it this way: I went vegan for 4 months and 5-6 months, battered the gym at Blackburn and never played. Couldn't last a minute.
Did you feel shit?
Felt horrendous. Aye, felt horrendous. And then it wasn't until the last couple of months I thought, nah, fuck this, I'm getting back on the Malteser bunnies and the good stuff. And the good stuff.
Do you know when you say you
turn that pot of jam over here?
You know when you say you turn vegan, that is in the
I do that loosely.
I don't think jam sandwiches morning, noon and night is actually classed as turning vegan. You know what I mean?
No, but
there can't be many people that can say that they played against Barca on the home debut.
My first game at Celtic Park, aye.
Did you know that you were going to be playing?
No. I had it because with the boy Mark Wilson, who was a first team player basically, that had just come back for a long injury but had played half a game the Saturday before the Tuesday night. I thought, fuck, that's him, he's going to play. I might make the bench. The gaffer started at the time, so in a Champions League morning it was optional to train. Tuesday morning, go and do a bit of boxes or whatever you want. It was a long day, we sat in the hotel all day. So me being a young lad, I thought, fucking, it's optional for everybody else, but it's not optional for me. So I used to train in the morning, but no hints or anything, nothing. Wasn't until about 8:15 kick-off, probably about 6:30, 6 o'clock, done the team. He's just rattled these names off. I'm thinking, my name was second in that list there. I thought, fucking hell, he must have named the subs first this week. And then it wasn't until it dropped and he wrote the team up once we had their team in. I was thinking, fucking hell, I'm starting here. And then started writing their names up on the board. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
And what had been your first team involvement up to
Before
the Barcelona game?
So the Saturday I had played, I think I played half a game, but I was meant to start. So my first start was meant to be the Wednesday night, the week prior to the Barcelona game. On the way to the game, I knew I was starting. The game got called off at Fir Park. The pitch was horrendous. It was pissing down the rain. So they called the game off. So I was like, that's me. Missed my chance. Not going to play. I think I started the Saturday, played half a game, then Matt Wilson come on at half time. And I thought, that's him prepping them for Tuesday night.
Yeah.
So not really much. I played little bits here and there, came on as sub here and there, but I'd never started. I think my first start at Celtic Park.
And was he giving you much after game? Was he saying, well done, you're doing well?
After the game, I got took in for drug testing, so I wasn't even in the dressing room after the game. There I was in drug testing with, it was me, Barry Robson, Scott McDonald, and they two had pissed, but I never drunk water. I was like, I'm to get a can of Coke, a couple of cans of Coke.
There's no drugs in his system,
but
but his sugar's off the charts.
There was Henry, Silvino, and I can't remember who else, but Silvino and the other one had pissed quickly, so it was just me and Henry in this fucking room. And to be fair, Henry had pissed, but he stayed in there and just sat and spoke to me for about half an hour, asked me about my background, my career, how many games I'd played, and I'd tell him it was my first game, and mate, he was unbelievable with me. But I went just sat and spoke. Class.
Did you have a glance?
And I've had a fucking McDonald's for my pre-match.
By the way, I had a fucking Big Mac and fucking only onion, only lettuce in it before I came here. But no, he was good. But listen, the closest I ever got to the guys, what I thought I was getting was fucking playing on the computer, playing Football Manager or fucking FIFA or something. But just walking out on that stage and just looking to my right and seeing all of them. It was a joke.
That music, innit, man?
Oh, the music's a joke. I knew it. Listen, I never get nervous at games, never ever. I've just always had that. And I wasn't even nervous that night. I just thought, I'm fucking 18, turning 19, regardless what I do. If I get absolutely abused, then they'll look after me and say, he's a young lad, never played it.
Yeah.
Never played at this level, never played first team at Celtic Park, like first start. But if I'd done all right, I knew I had everything to gain, so I was fine with it. But the music's a joke. Celtic Park, when you play against like Barcelona and that, you get a throw-in high up the pitch, the place goes fucking mental. So that alone, just for me, because I was a Celtic fan, for me to start at Celtic Park, way Celtic, was brilliant. But to play against them was on a different level.
Did you go for a good start in the game?
We went up 2-0. Aye, Barry Robson scored a header for about fucking 40 yards out that looked over Victor Valdez, and then Messi scored just before half time, went to 2-1. And come in at half time and Stratton just spent 10 minutes on me, fucking hammered me. Can you not see those fucking balls getting diagged onto Ronaldinho's toe? And I remember first team coach Tommy Burns come up to him and went, "That's your chance there, wee man." I went, "What?" He went, "You should have said." I fucking did see them, but I was too busy clapping them. They were unbelievable, just landing on his toe every time. And speak about Nakamura, brilliant going forward, but gave me no help back the pitch, so I was just fucking Abidal was overlapping me for fun. I didn't know where I needed a shite or a haircut. I was all over the gaff. But what an experience, man. Directly against Ronaldinho, I know. Strongest arse I have ever fucking felt.
He used to get his arse in a lot, didn't he?
As soon as the ball came in, the first thing he done was bang. By the time I'd recovered from fucking getting winded, the ball was fucking miles away. Brilliant, though.
And how were you then, like, in and around town and stuff? You know, like, you've made your debut for Celtic, you were like starting to be a bit
I grew
like
up
a
in a
peacock.
fucking massive Rangers area, so I was getting a lot of stick constantly, but I was quite quiet. I wasn't. So I grew up in a place called The Scheme. They actually made a BBC documentary about it. It was quite rough. But I was all right. I was fine. I always kept myself to myself, but it sort of changed after that. So I played there on the Tuesday night, and then the Wednesday morning I was in the front page and the back page in the same day. So some fucking girl had come out and said I had fathered a child, which was a load of shite, and ended up. So the next day I was in the front page and the back page. I was looking at the back page going, fucking buzzing, look at that picture of me and Ronaldinho. Looking at the front page and there's this munter in the front saying, Jesus Christ.
She wasn't even nice.
It was horrendous.
I wouldn't have fucked her.
How was that even used though?
Because that's what they done in Scotland. Like they had it. I think they had it for about 6 weeks. They were only interested in Celtic and Rangers in Scotland. No interested in anybody else. And I had just made my debut, so I was like poster boy at the time. Young lad, just made his debut against Barcelona. Ronaldinho, Messi, Iniesta, all the rest of it. And then the front page was fuck.
She just stood there with a kid with jam all around his mouth.
Definitely Caddis that.
Look at that kid's hand. Maltesers. There's Malteser bunnies in that hand there. Kids like that.
You know, honestly, mental.
So what was the end result then? Like, she's come out and said,
yeah, it's a lot of shite. But she sold this dream to the papers and they've printed it. So I wanted to hammer them for like, it's called slander. So I went to the chief exec at Celtic and he's like, you can't. Basically, Celtic didn't want to fucking sue them. But Strachan banned them for like, what was that, the February? Banned them till the next season. Banned
because of that?
Because of that, aye.
Do you have to do DNA or anything?
Yeah, I had to do everything, aye. Celtic sorted that out for me, to be fair. 24 hours DNA. Mental.
Did you actually know it weren't yours? There weren't a chance like you've got pissed and...
At the time, she made me feel it was. To be honest, at the time I was thinking, this could be.
So what was the time length from when it was released in the paper till you find out that it wasn't?
Probably about 3 months. Baby still wasn't born. So she come out and it was like Celtic star dumps pregnant lover. That was it.
That was the story.
I was never a fucking lover. That was the story. That was the storyline. And then the back page was like something about fucking... I think I said there, like, closest I got to these players was on FIFA, and I think that was a back headline, something like that. So it was on the front and the back at the same time. But
was there any positivity, like you were good in bed or anything in the story? not even that?
Nah, don't worry, I got my bit back out though the following, when the DNA result come out. So there was two newspapers. That's what it was like, 2 newspapers in Scotland. There's a Daily Record and the Sun. So I'd done a bit in the Sun. The Daily Record coming back saying like I was unbelievable in bed and that.
Did we find out who the father were?
I think there was a guy that was in jail. Some guy that was supposedly in jail. That's all I know. Some story there. Brilliant. I told you I grew up in a great area.
Can you remember the first time you met Gravesen?
I mean, Si told us some unbelievable stories.
He's my hero.
You were the...
Honestly, mate, you'd have to hire this place out for a week. He was everything. He was a pain in the arse. He was hilarious. He was brilliant. He was shite. He was everything. Like, you could tell at times why he'd been at Real Madrid, and then you could tell at times why he was fucking with Celtic reserves. Just, there's something wrong with him. I'm adamant he's got fucking ADHD. Just simple, wee, silly things like, would walk past the reception at Celtic Park, there'd be people ready to go in for a tour, maybe 15, 20 people, and they're all going, oh, there's Thomas Gravesen. And he just walks past the reception at the keyboard and just goes like that. Starts pressing on the buttons in the keyboard, but just fucking switching screens off, turning screens round, turning keyboards upside down, turning the big mat upside down. Just a fucking cannon. Just non-stop, but...
For no reason other than...
For no reason at all.
Just
to entertain himself, I think.
Yeah.
Used to drive back for Celtic Park, that drive for Barrowfield to Celtic Park, and there was like, coming into Celtic Park, it's a single car. There's 2 lanes, one going that way, one going that way, in a normal. But he's driving up the wrong way, with his hand out the window, like indicating. Waving to all us, because we're waiting in a massive queue to get into Celtic Park. He's indicating, flashing his lights. There's people coming out there, emergency stopping and everything. And he's like that out the window, indicating. Fucking cannon. But there's obviously that story with the massive cone with me, isn't there? And
what happened?
So I went and trained with the first team, and for whatever reason, there was like a traffic cone at the side. I don't know what it was doing there, and he'd been bombed at the first team and went and trained with the reserve. So he started calling Gordon Strachan Gordon, and the reserve manager Gaffer. So he was like, morning Gordon, to Gordon Strachan. So
I love that.
He was like, so I'd trained with the first team, and he's standing at the side, the reserves are ready to go on after us. And he was with the first team, and somebody's playing an unbelievable ball to me, and I'm ready to take a touch, and he's picked up this massive traffic cone. Time, Caddy, time! Out this big traffic cone, and Gordon Strachan's like, get him out of here, get him out of here. He was just a cannon, man. You couldn't shout at him, see if like you were in his team and he was about to shoot, but you were in a better position, be like, yes, Tommy. He'd shoot and see if he missed, he'd turn around at you and go, don't shout at the fucking shooter, la. Like, see if he went to shoot, don't shout at the shooter, he used to say. He was brilliant, but such a nice guy. Like for about 3-4 months solid, he used to, so I couldn't drive at the time. He used to take me into the train station, Glasgow Central. And I don't know why, but it took me 3 months to ask him where he lived. I was like, where do you actually live, Tommy? When you come out Celtic Park, lad, you go left, up that way. I used to go right to go to fucking, to where I was going. He used to go right and go fucking 30 minutes into the town, and he stayed fucking 40 minutes that way. Just a brilliant guy, but he was obviously just a loner. Just liked fucking company.
Did you not have a missus in that over here?
No, I think she stayed in fucking Denmark or something. His missus was a porn star, wasn't she? She used to say to him, Tommy, get any pictures of your missus? Just Google her la. Loads on Google. He went back, he used to go back pre-season and stay, it was either his mum or his dad, in an attic, probably about the fucking size of the 4 tables, in this little attic, wee tiny room for 6 weeks. He used to sit in his PlayStation. He was like number 2 or number 1 in the world for COD at one point. Honestly, he was fucking mental.
I love him.
What a brilliant guy.
Was he shit out at pool as well? Just used to love it.
Used to bring us all in, all the young lads, just fucking bullies basically. 25 quid a head. He would only play for money, and we never knew why. But like, no, everyone put their money in it. So he used to put tennies, about 250 quid sitting there. 2 minutes, lad. He'd run down the stairs at Celtic Park. We'd look at the window, he'd open up his boot, and he brought out this fucking Ronnie O'Sullivan fucking signed pool cue, snooker cue. Screw it up. We had the run of the mill horrendous pool cue that you get that everybody batters each other with. And he's in with this shiny thing and just cleaned up. It was unbelievable pool.
Did he take the money in?
He used to take the money and he was a fucking multi-millionaire. We were on about 75 quid a week.
The best bit about it though is he denies everything, doesn't he? He used to say to size, stop telling them lies.
Nah, he denies everything. We used to moan at like training and stuff like that. But like, if you're not happy, go and work in fucking Sainsbury's, you little cunt. But that's what it was like. It was a pain at times to train with in the reserves. You were like, so you used to do, at the end, you do a small-sided game, but if his team were losing, he'd just pick up the ball. 0-0, start again. You're like, fuck off, Tommy. And you would start at 0-0, you'd be fucking 5-0 up, scored a hat-trick. 0-0, start again. You're like, fuck's sake. You just keep going, you'd get till like fucking 3 o'clock in the afternoon till he won a game. Right, time up.
Had everybody at the club just given up?
Given up with him. So Strachan fucked him off, so he was nothing to do with Strachan, so he didn't care. Did not care. So he was Willie McStay's problem, but Willie just found it funny. He was calling Willie Gaffer. Willie was buzzing, never been called Gaffer in his life. Morning, Gordon.
Real Madrid, man.
Was he just a big kid? Like
big kid. In fact, I remember one day at Barrowfield, somebody come in, I think it was Willie, casually first team today. I'm like, all right, sound. Make sure you're on the pitch for 10:30. So Tommy Gravesen's found out I'm with the first team. He's just manhandled me till about 11:15 in the dressing room. Just me and him. Just hold me. Strongest man ever. You're not training with the first team, la. Tell Gordon he has to wait on Tommy. Just hold me.
Wait on Tommy.
Mate, I went down chalk white, shiting myself. And I didn't have the balls to say that Tommy Gravesen had held me for 15 minutes. Stran's like, what you doing? Fucking warm-up started 15 minutes ago. I was like, oh, I was on the toilet, Gaffer. I had to tell him I had the shits. Because I was scared to say, I wouldn't stitch him up. He just held me in the dressing room, just me and him. Like that, for 15 minutes.
A long time as well, yeah.
That was him, a big kid.
Was he talking to you or
at times,
in that time
like,
just breathing in your ear?
I just at times would go silent for like 3 minutes, and 3 minutes is a long time. I'd be like, Tommy, can you let me go now? Fucking training started 10 minutes ago. I was like, I ended up like at probably the last 5 minutes, I was pleading with him, Tommy, please, Gaffer's going to be on me. I'm scared, Tommy. Just let me go.
Let me go, Tommy.
Let me go, Tommy.
Let me go.
But that was him.
just thought, I'm just going to fucking...
Just held on to me, but he used to do stuff like that with people in warm-ups and that. He just, boys were doing laps on the pitch and he'd just been in a corner with somebody in a headlock. And the fitness coach was like, Tommy, come on. No, la, he's staying with me. Just fucking a maniac. But again, brilliant to have somebody like that.
Did it ever kick off with him with anybody?
Nobody challenged him, nah.
Nobody did?
Not really, because we were all young lads in the reserves. So it was like a mix of 18 and 19-year-olds. We weren't going to send it to Tommy Gravesen. We just signed him, fucking Real Madrid.
Was he good at any point at Celtic? Or was he...
He played the first couple of months and he was decent. Just lively, but Strachan loved a structure. And Tommy had no structure about him. Tommy would be playing centre mid, but he'd be going fucking pressing their left back, pressing their goalkeeper, chasing back to her right back. He'd just be everywhere because that was him, just a zoomer. So, but technically in that he was decent. So he was decent, but just couldn't trust him on a football pitch.
I wonder what he was like at Everton that when he was...
There's that
shit
story,
hot.
isn't there, that they get mixed up with him and Lee Carsley, aren't they? That's what people used to say. They get mixed up with Tommy Gravesen and Lee Carsley because two of them look like each other. And end up with Tommy
Got mixed up?
They signed Lee Carsley instead of... they signed Madrid signed Tommy Gravesen instead of Lee Carsley. So that's what the rumour was. But I used to... it was good for us, because we were young lads, we used to ask him stories about Real Madrid and that, and just stuff like that, but he fucking volleyed Robinho in the face, didn't he, at Real Madrid? Remember that? That was him in a fucking head tennis match. Football tennis, and he's volleyed Robinho. Probably because fucking Robinho didn't want to start at 0-0. He's probably getting beat 4-0. He's like, no, 0-0 now. He volleyed him in the face. But
you just can't get your head around
brilliant
it.
character. You just don't get them anyway. Don't get characters like that at all. And if you do, they're fucking classed as bullies or whatever else.
It sounds like that dressing room was full of them. What was the keeper like? Nutcase.
Artur Boric. Oh, what a guy, man. He was a brilliant guy and all. Used to turn up at fucking 10:25, just roll out a fucking black cab, stink of booze. But an unbelievable goalie. Like what I was like with food, he was like with drink. So you could turn up the next day, fucking half pissed, but still pull things for fucking all places. Brilliant goalie, but a different character again.
What was did he put it or not?
Stratton knew that, but he knew how good he was. And Stratton hated the fact that he'd done that, but knew that he was fucking phenomenal.
What was the crack when he stopped you going out in Glasgow?
No, that was more in... I think so. Aidan McGeady, Darren O'Day and that were getting in fights quite a lot with Rangers fans and stuff like that. So Strachan's pulled us all in a meeting and he's like, right, no one's going out to Glasgow. He's all got plenty of money, fucking charter a flight to London. Nobody will know you down there. There'll be no trouble. And he went, after Boric just stood up and went, Gaffer, I'm currently staying in Falkirk. Can I just go out in Falkirk and get pissed out in Falkirk? And he's like, no. No one's going out anywhere in Scotland. After Boric's like, nah. I'm for Falkirk, that's no fucking class to Scotland. It's fucking bang the centre of Scotland. Ended up just going out and stuff like that. And then it got to the stage where it calmed down a bit. He let the senior players go. He's like, young lads, MD under 20, it's not going out in Glasgow. After Butch stopped and went, I'll take them out. I'll look after them. Mate, the worst guy in the world to look after you. He was a fucking maniac. Played Rangers at home in one of his first games. Riots non-stop, Celtic Rangers games, riots all the time. He got out, finished the game, got showered, got changed, and walked into the town centre, and somebody's phoned the security going, there's about fucking 300 fans ready to kill Artur Boric. What the fuck's he doing? He's like, so somebody went down and got him, like, what are you doing? He's like, it's normal. If they want to fight, I'll just fight them.
Was he
300 of them.
He was handy.
He looks handy.
He's Polish, isn't he? All the Polish guys are mental. They are though, they're mental. He was he
And a big piece of kit and all, isn't it?
Aye. Like, played at Ibrox, won at Ibrox, quite a tight game. I think Celtic just took the lead. He was one of the guys that would go and he went and got a flag at an Irish flag at the Celtic crowd and stabbed it in the centre circle at Celtic, Ibrox. Just a cannon, just was never aware of anything when about him, just didn't care. But a brilliant goalie. But a fucking maniac.
He did well down here. Did he go Southampton?
Southampton, went to Bournemouth. Was it Bournemouth for a bit and all? But just half time and all, you just could start smelling this fucking fag. Somebody had been smoking. What the fuck's going on? After been at half time, fucking in the toilet smoking. And Strachan be like, what are you doing? Stop smoking. He's like, it's not me. It's not me. Don't know what you're talking about. So only sitting in a cubicle with a fucking smoke. It's not me. But nah, he was brilliant.
Sounds like he had some pain on, really, didn't he, Strachan?
Oh, aye. When he first come in, he ended up getting rid of Sutton, Thompson, Hartson, all the kind of big hitters. He had to reduce the wage bill, but that was a massive dressing room. Massive dressing room, full of big personalities. And again, but you had big Bobo Baldi that fucking used to manhandle them all as well. Like,
Were he the main man, Bobo?
No, as in talking, but as in physically. He was, I'm telling you, mate, he had muscles coming out his ears. He was a massive guy, like, used to kick off the odd time. And listen, in dressing rooms, he kicked off all the time. Like, again, doesn't happen though. But he was the one that everybody had to fucking keep an eye on.
What's the best one you're saying? Kick off?
Probably that one with Bobo. Something happened with Bobo and Stan Petrov. Stan Petrov was only 19 at the time, and he was a money cunt, Stan. Even at 19, used to come in, and Bobo was horrendous with the ball at his feet, but could head the ball from here to fucking Swindon away. So he used to keep saying to Bobo, stop fucking kicking it, just pass it to me. Just pass it, give it to me, or give it to Lenny, or give it to somebody else. So it kicked off a bit in the pitch, and he came in, and Bobo's literally just picked him up with a throat. And then you've got John Hartson, Chris Sutton, all big lads. Ramon Vega was at the time. You had Jos, can't remember, a couple of big centre halves. Took about 8 of them to get Stan off them. Stan's just standing there with his legs dangling. Help! And Big Bo was just fucking a unit.
Gentlemen, a quick message for our sponsor, HelloFresh.
How nice was that chicken, look?
I have got some cards here, yeah. Well, if you're not aware of HelloFresh, all the fresh ingredients delivered straight to your door. All the cooking instructions.
Foolproof, innit, Chris?
Yeah. Oh, idiot proof.
Cooking for dummies,
Yeah.
I would say.
And the variety is unbelievable depending on your needs.
What have we got?
Family meals, rapid meals, low calorie, low carb, vegetarian, yes.
Everything's ticked in it. Every box is ticked for your culinary needs.
Go through on the website, choose what you want, choose your delivery date on your doorstep.
Very reasonably priced.
No need to be traipsing around the supermarket. All fresh stuff. It's bloody scrumptious and all.
Well, to be fair, like, there's a lot of stuff in my cupboard that I don't use no more. And I like buying some spices for one meal, and it's just in back now, clutter.
Get your little sachet.
Job done.
Go on, ask me the question, Chris.
Do you go low calorie?
No. Have we got an offer?
Oh, sorry.
But yeah,
The answer is yes, and we've got an offer. All you've got to do is go to www.hellofresh.co.uk/HFCosh60 and you get 60% off your first box and 25% off your next 2. Or you can just go to the website, choose what you want, and on checkout, put in the code HFCosh60, all caps.
and to top it off, you're going to receive a free gift.
Yeah. So yeah, just visit www.hellofresh.co.uk/HFCosh60. Get 6% off your first box, 25% off the next 2.
Wait till you try the Hasselback potatoes.
Lovely, aren't they? I've tried. Don't worry about that.
Was Strachan still there when you came back from Dundee?
Aye, still there. Strachan was there for another year. Tommy Burns passed away when I was at the following year, I think. So Strachan gave it another year and then just stopped after that. So
Who came in after?
Tony Mowbray come in. Moga come in. Spent, in fact, Moga didn't even last that long. I was going to say 18 months. I think it lasted about 6 months. That was probably my biggest run in the first team. And it coincided with probably the worst Celtic team that they've had in fucking about 20 years. So that says it all. We got battered quite a lot. He couldn't get... Moga was a brilliant guy. Was you there?
Nah.
No, you wouldn't have been. Moga was a brilliant guy, but couldn't get his head round that we went away, so we're in Europa League at the time, Thursday night, away to like Rubin Kazan in fucking Russia or whatever it is, or went away to Austria or went away to other side of fucking Europe on the Thursday night, stay the Thursday night, travel back the Friday, then travel to Inverness on the Saturday and play on the Sunday. He expected just to turn up and turn them over. He couldn't get his head round that, like, there was a bit of... You'd always start shite after a European game because it was horrible, mate. He used to just travel for 4 or 5 days non-stop, but he just kind of underestimated everybody else in the league. And he just found it a bit tough, but
Is
he
that
was a good
because
guy.
he used to play for Celtic,
He used to
obviously? Is
play
that
for
because
Celtic? Probably.
it used to be
and
like
at
that?
Celtic, everybody expects, by the way, it's not as easy as everybody thinks. Like, it's everybody's cup final when they play against Celtic.
Yeah.
So the place, like Inverness away, they would probably get 1,500 fans, but when Celtic turn up, they get 8,000, 6,000, whatever it is. And everybody's there, and the spotlight's always on Celtic, it's always on Rangers. So it's tough. It is tough, but you're at a huge club. You're expected to win every week, and he just couldn't get his head round about it. But
At what point were you thinking, I'm going to have to move on?
So Neil Lennon came in, took charge for about 9 games before he actually got the job permanently.
Was that a strange one because you'd obviously played with him? And you knew what he was like as a player?
No, I was only a young lad when he was there, so I was never that close to him. But when he came in, to be fair, they offered me a new deal. They offered me a 2-year deal to stay. But I was 20 at the time, and I thought, I need to go make a career now. So I just took a massive risk. I've seen so many players get to like 24 and that, and I'm thinking 24 is quite old to start playing regularly. So I went to Dundee United, played regularly there, and I was like, I think it's time for me to go.
Got a taste of it.
Turned down a 2-year deal at Celtic on decent money, more than what I was getting at Swindon, and ended up going to Swindon with Si. Si sold me a dream. They got to the playoff final that year and lost to Millwall. He's like, mate, we'll definitely go up next year. Got fucking relegated. went down with Si. We got relegated.
So Si had been on
He
a
was
year's
here on
loan,
loan. Aye, he was here on loan under Danny
and then
Wilson.
he's come back up. They want to
Danny
sign
Wilson
him.
had asked about me, and Si sold me a dream and we get relegated. So
Yeah.
I took a massive risk. And then after getting relegated, I thought, fucking hell, I better find a job. Went to League Two, and I was just fucking kicked on for there.
Was it Wilson that
Danny
season
Wilson.
you got relegated then?
Danny Wilson, the season we got relegated, aye. Danny Wilson's a brilliant guy, but we were struggling around about Christmas. So we got this psychologist in, and it was like, right, we're going to map out the next 6 games. Do you think, as a group, do you think we'll win, lose or draw? So it was like, away to Wimbledon. Yeah, we'll win that. And Danny Wilson was like, right, all right, I'll give you that. We're on a shit run just now, but I'll give you that. Home to fucking Dagenham Redbridge. Yeah, we'll get 3 points out of that. Away to Southampton, a couple of boys were like, might scrap a point. Danny Wilson was like, whoa. Come on, be realistic, lads. We're not going to get a point away to Southampton. We're struggling now. This is a manager. So we're like, all right, aye, fair enough. We'll probably get dicked there. We did get dicked, and that was his last game. Southampton away. But we had a decent squad, just fucking full individuals.
I take you didn't win the first 2.
No, we didn't win them either. It's very unrealistic. Yeah.
Come on, lad. Take it serious. We've got fucking no chance, have we? Come on.
So a year with Danny Wilson, and then in rocks Paolo Di Canio.
Say no more. Guy was a fucking loony, man. The first year he come in, I was in Santa Ponsa, and I got a phone call for the secretary saying, you're training in 2 days. I'm
Is
like,
this before you've met him?
before we'd met him.
Right.
Nobody had met him. You're training in 2 days. I went, nah, I'm not. I've just got here. I've got another 9 days left.
No, Paolo.
Nah, the managers want everybody
System.
in. Aye, and I'm glad I eventually went home, but I'm glad I did, because as his record showed, if you cross him, you're finished. So I knew, like, if I didn't go in, that'd have been finished. Aye.
Did anybody not?
No, to be fair,
turned up.
everybody went in. I think because of who he was to start with. Like, we didn't know anything about him. We thought, Paolo Di Canio, big name, going to respect him, we'll turn up, we're League Two, who are we to tell Di Canio no, sort of thing. So we all turned up, he's turned up with the shades and looking $1 million. And then for that day, pre-season, oh my God, it's the hardest thing I've ever done. Well, the 2 hardest things I've ever done, that and then the following year with him.
See, I don't think I'm coming back.
From holiday?
Nah. If that's my holiday
Even if Di Canio's on
if
form.
that's my holiday for summer, I don't think I'm coming back.
It crossed my mind, but I'll be honest, I shit myself.
I think that's everyone's first reaction. I'm not coming back. But then when, like you said, you start thinking it's Di Canio.
And by the way, this isn't like the 2nd of July, this is like fucking 15th of June or something.
What was his first, because they always have a meeting, don't they, that get all the players and sometimes all the staff. Was
Yeah.
he just...
laying out the plans.
He didn't get us in for a meeting. The first time we seen him was on the pitch. He had a brief word about, we're going to get you really fit and all this stuff, but no too much in depth, to be honest. Before we knew it, we were with his little sports scientist, who was a little snake.
Was
he?
he?
Ended up, he used to, he'd be run about your table, making sure you were eating stuff right, and why you not have some more greens? You're like, grow up, mate. I've got 2 kids in the house. Shut up.
Jambotti and jam.
I've got a jam sandwich in my pocket. I'm waiting for you to piss off so I can eat it.
Pulling the Maltese bunny out your sock. When he turns back, fuck you.
Look, one of the guys that you weren't allowed sauce, you weren't allowed milk in your coffee.
Is that from the off? First
From
day?
the off. From the
can
no,
just
tell a lie. First day we went back to the stadium for food. The chef's just put on what he'd normally put on, and
Is he watching you?
Yeah,
Seeing what
but
you're
Di
getting?
Canio's disgusted at the sight of this. He's like, tomato sauce? Like, couldn't get his head round, like, tomato sauce and spaghetti bolognese and stuff like that. He wanted everything separate. So it was like plain pasta, plain veg, plain chicken. Honestly, it was as dry as a sandal. It was horrendous.
So he's obviously
So
not
he's-
thought, I need to sort this out before I go in. And he's looked at the buffet and thought, that's a disgrace.
He's baffled at this. His mind's gone at this, thinking, this isn't normal. So for that next day, everyone was dry as anything. And we knew from the off, but probably didn't click. So at the time, it was like, everybody had to stand beside their table, and nobody was allowed to sit down until he gave you the nod. I was like, fucking, the army. So everybody was standing and we had to wait till every single player was ready to sit down. It'd be like, yes, boys. And then we'd all sit down.
Was he stood as well, or was he walking in?
He was
entrance?
He was on his table. So all the staff were on his table and he'd just have a look and have a quick count, or he would send his little Joey to go and do it, his little assistant, and they would count everybody. Yep, 24. Yep, sit down. And then we had to all wait until every single item of food was out, every utensil was out, and it was like so fucking rigid. It was a joke, man. I'm like, Jesus, grow up, mate. I just want to go and get a jam sandwich. It's unbelievable, like. But he was relentless for day one. I got on with him for the first year. I got on with him.
Did you feel fit? Did he get you fit?
Fittest we've ever been.
So that's a good thing, and obviously.
That's a brilliant thing. But at a state where, like, we were ultimately fit, but if we were doing a run round the pitch and you had to get in 15 seconds, see if you get in 13 and done it quickly, you'd go mental. No! 15 seconds for a reason. See if you get in 16, you'd be going mental. You had to hit the line on. So it could be for me to that glass away. And I had to hold until I got the 15 seconds and hit the line, because he had a beeper, so it was everything was done to the absolute point. And he would run in the inside. So when we're doing laps, he'd be on the inside, making sure every beeper would go to a certain spot. So everything was so, it was good. It was good in that way. Like, you know what it's like, you get busy cunts pre-season, like a 25-second run and they're getting in 15. You're like, grow up, get in 25. To get in 25, stop being busy. I hated the ones. Hated them. And I hated the ones that would be bang on 25 everyone, then the last one they'd get in 15. I'm
the
like,
sprinter.
Aye, I'm like, piss off.
But what benefit does that bring?
That's arse
Getting
looking,
in
that's
on
what it is.
15 seconds rather than 13 seconds.
Oh, the benefit of that?
That's just because he said 15.
Because he can.
Because you're a dictator.
Yeah.
That's him, he's a dictator. I want you to get in 15, so you're getting in 15. That was just him. But no, it was hard. We went to Italy for 2 weeks in the middle of nowhere. We got a flight from London to Rome or something, and the flight was half the time it took us to go from Rome to our training camp. Training camp was like 6 hours away up in these mountains. 90% of the bus was sick by the time we got there, just away up these mountains.
Did you have any idea how long you were going to be on this bus?
No. Kept asking how long, but they were kidding on the
Are we
wings.
there yet?
Yeah, we're not far. We'll be there soon, don't worry. Oh, that shite. Soon? Fucking hell. It was like a kid again asking your mum and dad when you were getting there. Got to training, got to the hotel, middle of nowhere, walks out and there's about 8, I'm talking lads, units. One with a big, huge tattoo across his face, tattoos down the side, and they give it that handshake. So it's a fascist handshake. So that's how they shake each other's hands. So they came out and all over Di Canio, and we're thinking, what the fuck have we came to here? So we got into the hotel, straight out training. So the day normally worked 7:30 to 8, breakfast, 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock was like intense shape. So it was just shape, but just without the ball, just running to press here for 2 hours non-stop. Come in, have like a lunch from 11:30 to 12:30, back out from 1:30 to maybe 2:30, 3:15, doing just running. So that was your running session for an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes. There was longer runs, there was shorter runs, there was box to boxes, there was everything in that. And then you'd go back in, get your dinner about 6 to about 7:30, and you're back out from like 8 to 9:30 doing football stuff, crossing and finishing. But it wasn't just normal, it was like crossing and finishing the length of the pitch. So you'd sprint the long length of the pitch, put a cross in, turn, sprint back up, put another cross in, then rest. So it was just relentless. It was sickening for 2 weeks. Sickening. That there was no, sometimes you get a carrot, we'll do four reps, but if you do 3 in a decent time, you'll get that carrot. There was never a carrot with him. Never. No night out planned or anything. Until the last night, he's like, okay, you can have a couple hours. We've got a couple hours, we've got a fucking ice cream, I think. Honestly,
Different ice cream.
Relentless.
Was he the man as well about the place?
Oh, he was the man. He was the man, aye. He was the man anyway, like he had a presence, he had that swagger about him, he was cool. He was cool as fuck, like, but he was tough. Very tough.
See, I'm not liking him from the off.
Oh, from the off is horrible, but
if you feel fit though, Johnny, if you like a couple of weeks in, you're thinking, I feel fit here, we're going to be good this year.
Like my mindset was, I'm in League 2 here, who am I to have a go at Di Canio?
Was there any that did?
Yeah. The first year, no. No, I was probably, I'm not being fucking hard man about it, I probably shouldn't have done it the way I did, but I was probably the first one to quickly have a go back in front of people. And that lasted fucking 10 seconds. I was gone. I was finished. Like so this was a following pre-season. My eldest was born on the 17th of June, and he wanted me in the 18th. I was like, no, because I went back to Scotland to have my kid. I'm like, no, I'm not coming in. My wife just gave birth like 6 hours ago. He's like, no, you will be here tomorrow. I was like, trust me, I won't be in. Like,
no,
I'll take whatever consequences you want. I will not be in the training ground tomorrow. So I turned up like 2 days later. I turned up on the 19th, which I thought was still ridiculously early. And he's going mad and all the rest of it. So we got off didn't get off to a great start that year. And then he pulled me in saying that I was unfit, which I was. I was one of the guys that done nothing in pre-season. Nothing.
Snap.
Nothing. Pre-season, the whole point of pre-season is to get fit. Why would I go in fit to get fit? So I done nothing. So I was a bit behind. Well, I was miles behind. Let's say about it. So I was behind in the running and stuff like that. But I knew I always found a way of getting fit, and I would get fit because I had that mindset. And so he got me in a room in front of everybody, and he's like, "You're not fit, and when you had your baby, I expect when you to go home." He wanted me to stand with my fucking 2-day-old baby and do squats against a wall to get my leg muscles going. And I started laughing. He's like, "Oh, I am serious." I went, "You're taking a piss, mate. My kid's 2 days. It's the first time I've had a kid. I'm not going to be doing squats with it. I'm going to do squats with a 2-year-old baby." So to be fair, the only like Paul Benson chopped up, who was the senior lad in the Big Benno, and he was like, "Gaffer, to be fair, I think you're asking a bit much there. Like, his personal life's his personal life. I want me to sleep in a different room." He done the same with Benno about 6 months later. "I want you to stay in a hotel on a Friday night when we've got a game on a Saturday, and I don't want you to spend any time from Monday to Saturday with your kid. I want you just to be in the house. You can help your wife, no problem, but she does the feeding, she does this, she does that." I'm like, "Mate, what life are you living here?" So didn't get off to a great start there.
Dictating your entire life.
Complete dictator, but with everything. The main reason I fell out with him was he tried to get me to stitch lads up, and I'm one of the old school guys. I would never stitch anybody up. Never.
You're his captain.
I was his captain, so he used to bring me in. He used to pay the bouncers, right? He used to pay bouncers in Swindon. We found that out. Give them all 20 quid each in Swindon. Any Swindon players come in here, you tell me. Restaurants, the lot, everything. So as soon as you get out your house, mate, there's fucking eyes on you non-stop. League 2, by the way. Swindon. It's not as if we're fucking at Barca or Man United. So he'd come in the Sunday morning and be like, "Can I speak to you?" So I'd go and speak to him. He was like, 4 players, Chinese restaurant last night. I went, all right, with their wives. So 4 of the lads went out with their missus. I think it was Benno, Marker, a couple of other boys went out with their wives, went for a meal, sitting like this, having a meal each, Chinese meal. "Why?" I went, "What do you mean?" He went, "This is not the right message." I went, "Gaffer, we've got a game in 6 days. Like, the game's next Saturday. This is the wrong message. Who was it?" I went, "I'm not telling you." He went, "You will tell me who it was or you will not leave this room." I just sat down. I went, "Well, I won't leave then." So that was the start.
Made myself comfy, slip down in your chair.
That's when I came and do my Tommy Gravesen. Come and fucking get a hold of Di Canio. What a scrap that would have been, by the way. So I just sat there. I was like, "I'm not telling you." And that was the beginning of it. So then from
the end,
I went out to training, and this is how dictator he was. I went out to training and I was separated from the squad. "You're not fit enough, you'll train with the fitness coach today." I went, "All right, sound." So he went, the fitness coach is like, "Do 400 metres in a certain time." Took me about 6 minutes. So I just walked it. I'm like, "Nah, fuck this. He's not fucking having a go at me for my personal life and all the rest of it." So I came back for that a little bit. He brought me back in with the squad and we played Crystal Palace in a pre-season friendly. And it was my first friendly because he'd bombed me for a bit. So I hadn't played a game for about fucking 3 months, and I was up against Zaha, and I was thinking, fucking...
That's quite a big thing to come back, though, from what we've heard.
Yeah, but he needed me at the time because there was nobody else there.
Yeah.
So, was there an apology?
Nah, nothing. No, he brought me back into the squad but would never speak to me. So I knew, like, I'm finished here.
So you're a bit of a trailblazer as well, like amongst the other lads. Like you said, you're the first one who's kind of stood up to him, if you will.
Yeah, sort of. And this is what followed it. So most of those interactions were just one-on-one, but this one after Palace. So Wilfried Zaha tore me to shreds. Like, I think he nearly tore my hamstring. He twisted me that many times. and I gave a penalty away. And so in a Sunday morning, actually, every Sunday morning we'd go back and Di Canio would have a 42-inch TV, and he'd have a folder for every single player, and it'd be clips for the day before. So depending on the result, like if you'd won, you'd be thinking, buzzing, I've only got 5 clips. See, if you lost, you'd have 35 clips, and you had to watch every single clip for every single player. It was horrible. So we're in the next day in front of everybody, and it was my clips, and everybody else didn't have a folder that day. And I'm thinking, fucking hell, it's just me. I must have had a shiter, or I was brilliant. Just clicked this open, it was me giving the penalty away, and I was miles behind. And he's like, look, this is your leader. Follow your leader. This is your captain. And he went, you've got until Thursday to decide. This was Sunday morning, to decide if you want to stay at this club. I went, I don't need till Thursday. I'll leave now. Like, you've been a cunt. He's like, what? I was like, you've been a cunt. He says, you're a dictator. Like, you just want to be in control. You're too controlling. I was like, I'll leave. Left that meeting and I never seen him again. That was me, done. I got back to the stadium and the owner phoned me, the owner had just gave me a new deal. He was fucking devastated. I was like, so me and Matty Rich just gave us new deals. I was like, nah, listen, I'm finished. And I just ended up playing tennis in a gym with Paul Benson for the next 3 months because he wouldn't sell us. So me and Paul Benson were just playing because he got fucked off and all because he stood up to him. So me and Paul Benson's remaining 3 weeks of pre-season was playing fucking 3 sets of tennis at the David Lloyd. I think it's the best pre-season I've ever done.
When the owner rang you, did he give you an option back?
He said, let's get you in a room and speak to him. I went, fine, like, I respect what you're saying. I'll sit in a room, no problem with him. Like, but you need to understand when you cross him, you're finished. He said, and I'm finished, I know where I stand. No, we'll sit down, we'll talk to you. And it never happened. And then it just dragged on for probably 5-6 weeks and I was doing nothing. Absolutely nothing. My missus and kids, I told them just to stay up in Scotland. So I stayed in a caravan for 4 weeks. I hired a caravan at fucking caravan park. It was fucking the best pre-season I've ever had. The food I had, man. Unbelievable. Honestly, stayed in a caravan for 4 weeks pre-season because I knew I was finished. And I'm like, I'm not. So my rent had run, the rent in my house had run out at the end of that month. I was like, I'm not extending it. Why would I? I just got a caravan for 4 weeks. It was a haven, It was fucking quality.
Entertainment every night.
Like Bentley used to come in every now and again as well, doing the entertainment, watching fucking Magic Mike and all that. It was quality.
High five in red coat.
It was class.
Was it his first or second season with the elastic wrist? League One Wes?
Second season. I'd gone by then. That was
that was fun.
That was mental. That was
something else. One at that
front of cameras and all that. That was him. It was just a big show. By the way, he was an unbelievable manager. Like, he knew the game inside out. Brilliant manager, but it was just too much.
It sounds like he was nearly
hated him.
He was nearly incredible
there, yeah. Just things like that.
We knew.
You just can't
I'd obviously left by then, but I was only on loan and he left and I came back. I didn't play again. I signed permanently, but I came back for a couple of weeks pre-season the following year when he'd gone. And we knew he'd struggle at Sunderland. Like, well, due respect, we're League Two players. We need to abide by his rules.
Yeah.
Like John O'Shea and Wes Brown, they're on 75, 80 grand a week. They're not going to listen to a guy that's going to tell them not to have coffee in their milk. Milk in their coffee, sorry.
Or ketchup with a...
Or ketchup, you know what I mean? So I think they eventually went upstairs and it went above him and he was gone.
I played with Leon Clark at Preston. Clark is a great lad, but he's a sulker, isn't he? And he's a...
Wrong man, wrong time in that. Yeah.
He was on big money, wasn't he, at Swindon?
We found that out. Fucking hell, we were gobsmacked and all. Like, so that night, Southampton, we played in the cup, and Clarkie had just came, hadn't done a pre-season and that, so was a bit behind. Straight on the pitch, the fitness coach is like, tomorrow you will run. And Clarkie's like, fuck off, Claudio, let me get back in the dressing room. Straight on the pitch, tomorrow you will run, you're not fit enough. He's like, fuck off. So he just does that. Di Canio sees it and tries to grab him as he goes down the tunnel, and it kicks off. It goes from 0 to 100 like that. So down the tunnel, he's managed to get past Di Canio and run. You've played at Swindon?
No, I never did.
It's a long tunnel, so he's run right through there, and there's a door at the end, and it takes you out to the away stand. So Leon Clark's running through the Southampton fans while Di Canio's fucking chased them. Somebody's tried to throw a cone, it's missed them, and it's just kicked off. So Di Canio's come into the dressing room, we're all watching this, ripped the shirt open, tossed a table with fucking coffee and all that, and shouted, £300,000 a year we pay for Leon Clark. we were nudging each other going, he's fucking on £6,000 a week.
Doing the math.
Fucking hell, he's fucking £6,000 a week. Fucking League Two here. Honestly, it was brilliant. But then he had a mate, Etienne Sajas, his name was. He then got fucked off because he was Clarkie's mate. But Clarkie stood up to him in a different way where Clarkie was ready to fucking go. Like,
snapped.
Yeah, it just went from 0 to 100 so quick. And then I think they ended up erasing like the cameras and stuff. He had the club in toast. Had to, like, with all due respect, my daughter could have managed us that year. The team we had was brilliant, and the budget he had was fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Just got what he wanted. Again, a dictator. That's what they do, innit?
Were you there on? Was it the Italian trip when he come into when he give you that bit of a night out and he come in with his shades on?
Aye, that was the second year. And his mates come out. He got his 2 fucking maniac mates to look after us. What a shout that was. You just go and look after them. Boys, you will be okay with these guys. Fucking Leonardo or something that was called. Massive Verona tattoo across his face. And he's pulled me and Sonny Ferry actually. I'm like, come on, don't tell any of the other boys. We'll take you to a special place. We're thinking, this is either going to be unbelievable or we're going to be dead. So we're like, we're humming and hawing for a bit. We're like, we up for it? We ended up not going, but I can just imagine where it led it to. Is like, they were maniacs, absolute maniacs. The Canios come into the nightclub as well, but an hour later and it's like, fucking everybody just opens up and he just swaggers through like the man and stuff like that. That was just him. Honestly, he was fucking...
You can understand why he's never been successful, can't you?
Was that his last job?
Too extreme.
Was Sunderland his last job then?
Last job, eh?
Yeah.
That's him, done. He's back in Italy. I don't know what he's doing. Probably fucking cage fighting or something. Aye, that was him. By the way, if he wasn't like that off the pitch, he'd have done all right.
Sounds it.
He would have, if he just calmed down. I think even a couple of Sunderland lads said, like, footballing wise, he was fine. It was just everything else that came with it. It was too much. All the time.
You know, into your sort of 75 days off without a day off, when are you thinking, I could snap here?
Our first day, I remember it, our first day off was Mayweather battled Ricky Hatton. I think that was about fucking November. It was just non-stop.
Did it cause tension at home with a lot of the lads, you know,
messages
saying what's going on?
It might have done, like, it just became normality. And then, like, I'd not long moved down to Swindon as well, so my missus moved down with me when she was 19. Fucking never seen her. Which I don't know if it's a bad thing, like, but...
At least you were local though.
Yeah.
Imagine if you lived, like
Tommy.
If Tommy's missus was still living at home, Tommy Miller.
See, when we were actually in Swindon, we used to do training 10 to 12, lunch 12 to 1, go home from like 1:30 to 4 o'clock, come back in at 5 and train at 5 to 7:30. They'd send us home. So for the lads, they were going and sitting in hotels or sitting in the stadium for 2 hours, doing absolutely nothing, or 3-4 hours. We'd go home and that's when I'd stock up my fucking shite food and then go back in, get a McDonald's or a KFC on the way home.
Thing is, it was working though as well, wasn't it?
It was.
For the,
When
for the
he
lads,
left, I
the
think we
mindset of...
I think we were top of League 2 when he left, or second in League 2. But he just wanted... He left because Matty Ritchie got sold. That's the top and bottom of it. Matty Ritchie got sold to Bournemouth for 800 grand. And the Cannon's like, we cannot sell Matty Ritchie. And the owner's like, no, we're getting a substantial fee with add-ons that could go to 1.5 or whatever. And that was big for Swindon in League 2. Especially with the budget that he was working under. So that's why he left. So basically, like, took the mood and left. And there was... that sums him up. There was footage, like, 3 days later after he'd been sacked. He broke into the stadium, didn't he? He was in the office in the stadium, like, getting all his gear and all that out, and just... He was just a loony.
Thing is, he's saying about dictating and stuff. He's not once thought that's a good move for Matt Ritchie. That he's probably going to double his money. He's just thinking, you're not going.
He's selfish. Like, he did.
Impossible.
I think Matty was doubling his money. Bournemouth were top of the league, probably going to get promoted. Had just been took over. We're getting backed quite heavily, so we're going into the Championship with a decent squad. So it's a no-brainer for Matty.
Yeah.
But Matty loved him. Matty was like, I remember Matty. I was at Birmingham at the time, and Matty phoned me. He's like, "Oh God, the gaffer's going to resign." I was like, "Fucking result, mate." He's like, no, but it's because I'm getting sold. I went, so what? Yeah, but Swindon fans and all this will hate me. I'm like, it's not your fault, mate.
Yeah.
Banging nails, it's not your fault, mate. Just go and get your money and shut up.
Yeah. But you've got to commit your life to the club, aren't you? You know, you talk about work-life balance, that you're fully committed to playing football. That's it.
He hated all the diet stuff and all. We played Forest Green, I think it was actually. We played in pre-season. I think Si told you this one about the sausages. So after Forest Green, the second year of pre-season, Forest Green have just put something on. It was a pre-season night, chips, sausages, all the rest of it.
It was vegan sausage.
No.
It would have been at
Oh, it
Forest
would have
Green.
been. Actually, it would have been.
Yeah.
Would have been vegan sausages, but we didn't know that, so we're all fucking... I should have known that, actually. So we're all tanking into it. Chips a lot. And he's come in and spotted a few, and we've all jumped on, like little kids run on the bus with fucking sausages in pockets and all that, hiding them. And he's came on the bus and he's like, "Who the fuck ate the sausages?" And he's with this Italian accent, "Who had the sausages?" We're all like that.
With the sausage.
So the sausages, mate, he went fucking mental. We're in the next day just running because we had a fucking vegan sausage. Just like that. Brilliant.
Yeah, you can see why he's not fucking been so, like, done it now.
No.
Hell of a move for you though, wasn't it?
It's the best thing that happened in my career. Best thing, I went for League 2 to the Championship. You know what it's like, you look at the banner sometimes, you go, fucking hell, how's he done that? That would have been me. Everybody would have been going, how the fuck's he went for Swindon to Birmingham? Just been relegated. I think Birmingham just been relegated the year before for the Prem. I'm going for League 2. It's the best thing that happened to me. Falling out with him.
Was that Clarkey? Lee
Clarkey, aye. But before I'd left, Carol Robinson had phoned me and said, "Do you want to come to MK Dons?" So I was on my way to MK Dons, and Lee Clark phoned me. He's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, literally about 15 minutes for MK Dons stadium. He was like, "Turn back, will you come to Birmingham?" I was like, "Fucking right, I will." Ended up going to Birmingham last minute.
Tell that one of Di Canio against them.
What, MK Dons? So every morning, Friday morning, before a bit of shape, he'd come in and he'd say, like, "Today we play Oldham, we play such and such." But MK Dons used to go, "Today we play Meek Dons." He used to call him Meek Dons. But another thing, he knew everything about every player. He's like, the right back, he's not trained for 3 weeks, he has a tight hamstring, but he's strong in the leg, he's physical. He knew everything. I don't know how he knew it, but turned out, you know what it's like, you play against people and you go, "When's your right back last train?" 3 weeks ago. Fucking hell, our manager told us that. Don't know how he knew it, but he just knew everything. He probably fucking spent fortunes just paying people off, trying to find stuff out.
It must be a nightmare at home. Imagine his missus.
That was a problem, right? His missus was still in Italy.
So he had nothing else
He had 3 kids, so he had 2 kids still in Italy, younger, and he had one at Southampton Uni that stayed with him. So he just stayed at home with his eldest kid who was at Southampton Uni. So he'd never had nothing to go home for. So he used to just, I felt sorry for his backroom staff. They were in non-stop. He used to abuse his assistant manager, fucking slap him in the face and all that.
Italian? Was he Italian
Aye,
as
he
well?
was Italian, aye. He must have went through, no joke, right, this is not exaggerating, 10 TVs in a year. Easy. He used to, so on the Saturday morning we'd get our clips and he'd fucking whack this thing. And you know what tellies are like now, they're soft as fuck. He used to whack them. He'd just crack. So he'd go and send his assistant to go and buy another one. Used to be 10 TVs, he'd Curry's best fucking salesman. Honestly, non-stop.
How did you find Clarkey?
Brilliant. Loved him. So up and down though, but brilliant guy. I think he had quite a lot to deal with when he first took over at Birmingham, just been relegated for the Premier League. I think he was told to cut the budget and he had some big players like
Big Ziggy.
Big Ziggy, man, what a guy. Big Ziggy used to come in. So the year we stayed up, the last day in the Championship, we were going to League One, and he was getting an increase if we went down. He'd been in fucking League One on 80 grand a week. So on 75 grand a week, he was getting like a 5 grand increase every year. And he still had a year left, don't he? League One on fucking 80 bags a week. We used to come in every morning and just go, "Morning guys, easy money for the big man, easy money for the big man." And he was a brilliant character. And I love people like that. I just used to love people like that. I just like characters, and he was like that. But going back to Clarkey was class. I liked him. But so up and down.
We're not speaking about that last day, Chris. They put a line through it.
What's that?
We're not speaking about that last day.
Must be up there with your highlight.
The last day?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was something else. Like we get pulled in probably the Tuesday or Wednesday before the Sunday game for the chief exec, and basically put so much pressure on us. This department, the full department, will lose their jobs. This one will lose their job. We will have to reduce the academy. So just put pressure on us. And Clarkey didn't know this at the time. I don't think he knew what the meeting was about. So
he wasn't involved in the meeting at all?
I think he got pulled in from one chief exec and we get pulled in from a director at the same time. So it was sort of
I'll distract him. You tell the lads
pretty
what
much. And so we knew like we had to win. We were decent actually. We were all right the first half. I think we went 2-0 down with about 20 minutes to go. No, Ziggy scored 2-1. Ziggy scored 2-1 with about 15 to go, and then I scored in the 93rd. But it was unbelievable.
Thing is, I was playing for Donny. I was against Leicester that day.
Was you at Donny?
It was like, say the game was 94 minutes long. For 90 minutes, we were, because we knew you were 2-0 down. So we were like, we just kept looking over and they're like, lads on the bench, you know, who weren't involved.
Did you just miss a penalty that day or scored it?
No, Knockout scored.
So he did.
After about 70 minutes, not bored.
We in the build up to that, we had heard Leicester had won the league the week before, didn't they? And I think they were on the piss all week, and we were like, fuck. Like, they're on the piss all week, knew they were playing against Jews. And by the way, earlier on in that year, you were up 3-0, we not against somebody in the game, got abandoned, remember?
Got rained off, didn't it?
Charlton. I scored 2 as well, they got wiped off. Just my luck.
Half his career goals got wiped off in one game, one foul swoop, in one fucking downpour.
So that would have kept you up, really? Because you were 3-0 up, weren't you? You abandoned at half time.
Did you get beat?
We got beat, yeah. Paul Keegan got sent off. I scored 2. My goals got chalked off, but he stood. 3-game ban.
And he's lost the
replay.
Didn't you?
Yeah.
So that ultimately kept us up. It was goal difference.
It was
our point.
I don't know what it was, but for 90 minutes, Dickoff was just so relaxed until you scored, and he read in the face. It was unbelievable.
94 minutes. By the way, they had a great chance after I scored and all. It was, I think it was Danzy put it over, but Danzy supposedly a Birmingham fan, so I don't know if he'd done it deliberately. Was it Danzy? No, Danzy. It might have been Danzy, I can't remember what it was, but somebody was a Birmingham fan. Scannell. I think he was a Birmingham fan and supposedly put it over.
Did he ever fetch what nickel in? Clark?
He had what nickel in
Psychologist
a few times.
guy.
Had him in a few times doing all fucking weird shit. He had us doing before the game. He used to come in the dressing room and get us on a circle and just like everybody stand like this and then just let all your emotion out and just scream. And while you scream, you fucking thing your hands in. I done a celebration actually when I scored like that. So just standing in the dressing room and I hated all that shit. Di Canio done shit like that and all. Just like, fucking 25 guys just screaming. I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? Di Canio used to do it and all. Di Canio had, before I was captain, a guy called Oliver Reeser. It was like fucking entourage. Used to get everybody in and the captain used to shout victory. Victory. It was an Australian guy. Victory! So we all had to shout victory after him. So he pulled me in about 3 months into the season, went, you're going to be captain. The first thing I said to him wasn't like, I'm not doing anything in the dressing room. I'm not fucking shouting victory. No, fuck. It's like, but why? I'm like, because I don't need to shout to get myself up for a game. This is what we do. I was like, well, someone else should do it. I'm not doing it. And I've never done it. Refused to do it. So just sit there like that. Everybody would be going, victory! I'm like, what the fuck's going on here?
Did you get a mixed bag as well of lads buying into it, like really going for it?
You'd see that's what I used to do actually. I'd look at the ones and go, let's see the busy bastards. Like with What Nickel. And they'd just go, and you'd see people fucking veins popping out the side going, I'm like, grow up, mate. You're not to play a game of football, calm down. I hated all that shit. I wasn't in it. I was so plain. I just wanted to turn up, play and go home. Yeah. I wasn't interested in fucking recovery or sports science or all that the gym stuff. Wasn't it for me. Don't know if you can tell like the shape I'm, but
just going back to that goal, I mean, you must have been sky high afterwards.
Believe it or not, I went in the dressing room and it felt like 5 minutes, probably 90 seconds. Pure silent. Not a word
just
said.
Relief.
Just relief. You could just tell, like, just such a relief, like silent for 90 seconds, but it's an unbelievable day. Unbelievable day.
The thing is though, like obviously you've got out of it, but ultimately you've had a shit season, haven't you?
Exactly.
So you can't like really celebrate.
It's hard.
Celebrate. You know what I mean? You're fourth bottom.
Fourth bottom, exactly. I know.
So you can't like fucking get the champagne out and all that, can you?
Just the way it worked out though, going 2-0 down. There was no way. Like I think the way it worked out, we needed a point from our last 7 games to stay up.
Did you? Mm-hmm. Aye, that might have been right actually, because it was somebody else in it, wasn't there? And then they, I think, got Wigan. Was it Wigan?
Wigan. There was, I think, Reading were down there as
Reading
well.
It's not just staying up, is it? That you've had that briefing about people losing their jobs.
Yeah, it wasn't until the next night. So that was a Sunday. The Monday night we had the Player of the Year awards. We fucking stayed up in goal difference with the Player of the Year awards. And that's when I realised like how big it genuinely was. I'd like people coming up crying. I'd like women coming up saying you've saved my marriage and all that. I know that's a bit extreme, but you know what? Birmingham's a proper tough fucking football religious place, innit? Like that is everything for them. People just coming up going, I've got my husband back, and you've seen like workers coming up and going, I don't have to remortgage my house, and you think, fucking hell, like, because people devote their stuff to, people devote their life to football, don't they?
The amount of messages we got from Birmingham fans.
Slaughtering these, like,
no, you.
Oh, me? Oh, the messages
about
coming
on here.
Aye. You got from Birmingham fans?
Yeah, like one put a picture of you celebrating, he put, just tell him thanks for saving my life.
No, honestly, like, it was genuinely like that. The next day, Gary Pendry, actually, who's a bit of a Birmingham legend, was Strachan's assistant. And he come up to me that day and went, "Caz, your life will change at Birmingham." And I thought, yeah. And that night I didn't sit down. It was like fucking unbelievable. Amazing. And it's like that now. Whenever I go back, whenever I'm back down there. Like it called the saviour. That's what they call me, the saviour.
Where's he got? He's
saviour.
He's strutting around Birmingham again.
I've not had to buy a jam sandwich in Birmingham for years.
He's strutting around Birmingham like Di Canio does around Italy.
No, but honestly, what a day it was. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Probably shouldn't be the highlight of my career, but just for that small moment, it was definitely up there.
Was it a good dressing room as well?
It was a bit mixed. We had, so Clarkie had to cut the squad. We were made up of League 1 and League 2 players eventually, with a couple of loan players for like Man City and that, but you could tell the loan players, they didn't really give a fuck. They don't care if they're getting relegated. Really, they'll just go back to Man City and Man United and all the rest of it. But we had a decent core. Like Big Ziggy came back with Daz Randolph was a goalie, with Paul Robinson that was proper pro. People like that, like who'd played League 1, League 2. So we just grafted our nuts the last couple of weeks.
And then there was Ravel.
By the way, what a fucking talent. Never seen anything like this in a training ground in my life. Unbelievable. I can understand now why Alex Ferguson and all that buzzed off him. In training, it's as if he'd glue. I know that people say that all the time, but he was a joke. He could see things that people couldn't see. He could make passes. He could dribble. He could fucking go and get the ball back. It was a joke. Absolute, like, unbelievable to watch, but so unreliable. So unreliable. I remember one day, Terry McDermott.
Yeah.
What a guy Tell was. Came up and he was like, "Right, Ravel can't leave the training ground. The police are here for him. Something had happened at home or something." So Tell's come up, said that, and then in the same sentence went, "There's a hole up in that fence up there, Ravel, if you want to go, son." Ravel's fucked off away in the hole. Boom, away. Came back down and the police were like, where is he? And they're like, "Oh, I don't know, he must have walked past you." Just playing blind to it, but that's what he was like, Rav. He was so unreliable. Like, we had a game, I can't remember who we played, but he was starting on the Saturday morning and he's not turned up. And it's turned out he's fucking plastered pictures on our social media and like that, dancing the night and the Friday night. Obviously pissed, just didn't turn up the Saturday. But phoned in and said he didn't feel it. "I've got the shits." No, he's not got the shits. You were out last night, fucking 4 o'clock in the morning, pissed. But he just came with an entourage, came with a massive entourage. Everywhere he went was like, he couldn't drive, but he had fucking 3 cars. We're just full of people. Full of people. There's another story. We had a game the Saturday morning at home. And as you do, the kit man brings your boots, sits all your boots out. And we've all looked at our boots and they're all fucking dirty. And we're like, why is there mud all over our boots? He turned up late the Friday night with all his mates, went into the boot room, all shoved a pair of boots on, went in onto the pitch and played fucking 5-a-sides against each other with all your boots on for the match day. Turned up and there's fucking mud all over the studs and that. Like, saying to JP, the kit man's like, "What the fuck's going on with these boots? You know, lost them, you lazy cunt." He's like, "What are you talking about?" He came, there's mud all over the place. So they went back, nobody knew at the time, went back in the cameras on the Monday morning, we got to training ground, Raph playing 5-a-sides with his mates with all their boots on. Brilliant guy.
Did you ever have any doubt arriving at Birmingham? Like you said, coming from League 2.
When I first went, when I walked into the dressing room, I thought, some big players in here, big characters, like decent players anyway. A lot of them had played in the Premier League and stuff like that, and I thought, going to have to start well here. So I knew that, I think it was Peterborough at home. Had to start well. If I didn't start well, I knew I'd have been up against it. Like,
sometimes the best way to go about it, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, like
just
get
flung in
before you met anybody, just go and play, and then
just got flung in.
You like that when you like with a chip over some ketchup saying, like, should I, shouldn't I?
I must have had a KFC in the services or something the night before. But no, I started all right before that first game. I done all right, and I knew I had to do all right. So I kind of put pressure on myself, but it was all right.
But it was a bit of a relief, though, as well, getting back to normal life.
It was, because I hadn't played for since that Crystal Palace game, probably. Yeah. So it was just to get back into playing games again was what I wanted to do. That's what I was it was either that or take up tennis. It was unbelievable that with the 6 weeks that I played. Or karaoke, because I was really good at that, I know, in the caravan.
What was Zola like?
Brilliant guy, but really disappointed that he never got involved, like taking training and all that. We had him and we had Casaraghi as assistant, 2 unbelievable Italian players. And we had a guy who played in the 3rd tier of Italian football. He ended up taking the Crawley job, Gabriel Cioffi or something. He took everything. I was devastated. You see these 2 guys turn up, you think, brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. But a nice guy, like, he was told when he first come in, so I'd left under him. I left 6 months into his reign, and he was told when he first come in, here's X amount of money, you must spend it. Basically, I want a new team for the owners. New Chinese guys took over. So he'd said to me, like, probably about 15 years, you're not going to play. I was fine, because it was like in the October, so we had nothing, we couldn't go anywhere. So like, all right, fine, but he never fucked us off for that. We still trained with the first team, but I was just disappointed that he never. The only time he got involved was when we done free kick competitions at the end. He was like, yes, free kick competitions.
This is my game.
This is my game. I'm thinking, come on, give us a bit more. I think everyone thought that.
Especially when Di Canio's up there, isn't he?
Yeah.
And if you just find somebody in between Di Canio and Zola,
yeah,
in terms of being too much, like Di Canio was obviously too much, but a lot of it was good.
He done nothing actually. Really, when you think about it, nothing. Him and Casaraghi used to sit in like the dugout at the side of training, and this guy was so intense. This guy was like Di Canio, so intense. Like water breaks were like fucking. Go and get a drink now. Go drinky. Come on, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, in. You're like fucking drinky. Like a big kid. 3. I know that's was like drinky. Come on. But nah, disappointed with how little he done.
And were you given an option at that point when did you know that was it?
I'd just come back.
Was there a way back?
I'd just come back for a shoulder injury under Rowett when Rowett had left. And I was still on kind of part of my rehab when Zola took over. But then when I spoke to him, he just basically said,
laid the cards on the table.
Yeah, and I was fine with that. I prefer that rather than, you can maybe play your way back in, knowing that I was never going to. He was like, listen, I've been told I've got X amount of money to spend. They're looking for 12 new players basically. They want a new team. They've got all this money coming in. I was fine with it. As long as I knew where I stood. And he didn't fuck me off or anything like that. We all still trained with the first team, but so I just knew coming January that my time was up.
He was going.
Turned into a shambles not long after then. That'll be when Stocky came, wouldn't it?
He went, was he in charge for like 14 games and lost 12 in a row. He lost his first 12 games though. Gary Monk come in, then Cottrell come in.
Bruce, were you before or after Bruce?
Bruce was
Springsteen. No, fucking Steve Bruce. When were he there?
Fucking ages ago.
He was before that.
I don't know where we are, do I? Terrible with timing and shit.
I don't know where we are. Where am I?
I know where we are, sat, but...
Steve.
Is he miles before, is he?
No, where am I?
I always thought he was good, Rowett.
Good. Tactically very good.
Yeah.
Just didn't like having the ball. But we were such a counter-attacking team. And you've probably seen that when he went to Derby, and that's probably why he's doing so well at Millwall. They only have loads of the ball.
Is that when you got your first Scotland cap at Birmingham?
Yeah, would have been. Aye.
Under
Strachan. I'd been called up twice under Craig Levine, who was the manager at Dundee United, and I went on loan, but never played. And then Stratton called me up a couple of times and played. Don't get me wrong, I played fucking 4 minutes, but it's 4 minutes that I'll fucking hang on to.
Yeah. Remember did he just ring you up or?
We were meant to go to Marbella the first with Birmingham because it was international break, and I'd packed everything ready to go, and he phoned me the Sunday night saying, you're coming to Czech Republic. We're playing Czech Republic and we want you involved. So I just got into Czech Republic, and honestly I felt as if it was something that I had taken. So I turned up and there was a training session on, but there was no staff that came to pick me up. They'd sent a Czech guy, and he's just come straight up and he's went, "Hello, you come with me?" And I'm like, "What the fuck am I going here?" Do you know that first scene in Taken when they get into Paris and the wee guy takes them away, and I was thinking, I could take me through all these tunnels and that, and then finally got to this car in the back of a house. I'm thinking, I text my missus saying, "Listen, if I die here, I love you," and all that. It's game over, but eventually got to the hotel and that, played come on the last 6 minutes or something, 4 minutes.
Proud moment though.
Oh, unbelievable, eh? Even if it was that short time. But I played for my country.
Yeah.
And at that moment in time, for the 4 minutes, I was one of the best players in Scotland. That's what I was telling myself.
Yeah. Were you thinking, oh, fuck me, I bet the lads are having a good night tonight.
I was thinking, nah, fucking hell, I'm a bear. And then I'm fucking chasing some winging in Czech Republic. I think I got 3 touches, 2 of them in my hand when I took a throw in. But I used to get caned for the boots I wore. So I wore black boots non-stop. I was a Puma. Black boots all the time.
What did you go for?
A Puma Kings or Copas. That's all I ever wore. And there was only 4 people on the pitch with them on. It was me, the referee, and the 2 linesmen. Coming after the game and starting to fucking slaughter me, or the boys are slaughtering me. There was only 4 players with fucking Puma Kings on. It was me, the ref, and the 2 linesmen. That was just me though.
That's flipped that, because I imagine players got stick for wearing coloured boots like 10, 20 years ago or whatever. And now you get his stick
20
for
years ago when Steve Bruce was manager of Birmingham.
Just have a look, Matty. When did Steve Bruce leave Birmingham?
You were buried together, but not
officially on the same squad list.
You'd gone by then, like unofficially, hadn't you?
Yeah, well, yeah.
And I'd come in the February to the May. I come in 3 months, but what a shambles that was. It's a shame, actually.
Yeah,
that is a shame, because Bury's not a brilliant town, like a big town. Football's everything for them, and the guy just rinsed them, basically. Rinsed them. The boys were. So I remember one Friday we were playing at home on a Saturday, and I'd asked for all my money up front because I knew Vonnie.
But you could sense it, or you were getting word that
I got word like, listen, we weren't getting paid, all the rest of it. So Clarkie was like, listen, so I get sorted up front. I remember going in a Friday morning to training, 10 o'clock. There's nobody there. I'm like, what the fuck is everybody? I'm at the wrong place or something here. The boys refused to come in because they hadn't been paid. So they were going to refuse to play on the Saturday. So Clarkie's encouraged them to come in. They ended up coming in about 2 o'clock, and by 7:30, 8 o'clock that night they'd been paid, but on their bank statement was like a hair salon. So they'd been paid by a hair salon. So fuck knows where the money came from, but that was just one of very, very many things that happened that year. It's a shame, it is. It's such a shame for that club. I know they've tried to come back, haven't they? But it'll just not be the same.
If I were a player at that club and I took the big contract and I'd not played a minute for him, I'd feel fucking horrendous. You obviously fucking done to talk, do you? What an horrible cunt. Hey, what an horrible bastard. Did you play a minute for him?
Nah.
Not 1 minute?
I was on the bench the first game of the season.
You didn't even get it clean photo.
No, I did. I was Chris Kirkland Photoshop. I don't remember.
Honestly, some people just got no shame at all over there.
Enjoyed time at Bradford.
Loved it. I loved it at Bradford. I got relegated, but I absolutely loved it.
There's a lot of chaos there as well.
There's all the chaos with the owners and stuff like that. But
who was the owner? Sorry, Caddy.
Edwin Rakic.
A few people asked about him, didn't they?
Do you not get involved much?
Never seen him. I think he was looking to sell, but wasn't putting money in. And a club like that, I think it was just basically rinsing it. We were getting 18,000 every week in League Two, in League One, sitting third bottom of the league, so almost relegated. Brilliant club. Loved it there. Absolutely loved it there. Would have loved to have stayed, but just a shambles behind the scenes. Like, I was only there for 4 months, but 6 weeks into it, I was made captain. But then, like 2 days later, I was sent a letter through the post to say that my contract was getting terminated. That I was fucking only there for 4 months. So it was just a shambles. Like, there was so much happening behind the scenes, and
must have been a good 4 months, because we had a lot of Bradford fans message saying, you know, shambles of a season, but you were obviously
I done all right there, to be fair. I found my feet again there. I was decent. I really enjoyed it. I'd love to have stayed, but for whatever reason, I was never offered to stay, so couldn't have done that well, mind you. But no, just a tough year, but at a brilliant club, and I probably got there at the wrong time. I'd have loved to have stayed for longer.
Were you not getting in like PTSD when you walked back through the door at Swindon?
It was mad, that. It was mad. I moved back home. I moved back to Scotland just before COVID, because I'd left Bradford. Couldn't really get in at the time, and to be honest, I was close to just going, you know what, enough's enough. I was still relatively young. I was still only 32 or something, but I just thought, right, that's it. Just move back up to Scotland. If I can get something in the lower league in Scotland, fine. I'll move back up there. Went up there, literally within a day. Richie Wellens phoned me and went, fancy Swindon? I was like, you're fucking joking me. I've just moved.
Just take it last year and
came back down and just come back into my house down here and went to travel to Swindon a couple of times a week for here. Richie was good though, really good. That team I played in was, footballing wise, probably the best one I played in. Just played some brilliant football. The way he wanted to play the style, the full-backs coming inside and all that, it was really good, really good. Won the league again. Well, COVID, we won the league, but we'll still claim it. I hope so, because I think I'm the only player in Swindon's history to win 2 titles. So fucking, you're right, I'm claiming it.
Was that on the points per game jobby then?
I think we were 2 in front with a game in hand. So the points per game obviously swung our way. It was between us and Crewe.
Fuck it, you've won league, ain't you?
Fucking right, aye.
Did Shez come in?
Shez come in the following year. Richie left and went to Salford.
Yeah.
And then Shez come in. And by then, listen, it was already a shambles behind the scenes. We were travelling to away games 4, 5, 6 hours on the bus, like coming away up north and that. They wouldn't finance for hotels and that. So it was already a shambles by then. The owner was already trying to sell. The damage was almost done behind the scenes.
And you'd had enough as well by this point.
Yeah, I hated. That was a year of COVID. I hated it.
Was that the tipping point for you, COVID?
Yeah.
No fans?
Yeah. If COVID didn't happen, I reckon maybe not now, but I'd have probably played another year.
Yeah.
Easy. I hated it. Absolutely hated it. Walking down the tunnel, walking onto a boring pitch with nothing in the stand.
Yeah. Like a training game, innit?
Training game, you're right. And as we spoke before when we were talking before, like, the fans give you that little bit, like the ball gets played over the top and you think, should I go for that? Shouldn't I go for it? And then you get the fans behind you and you do go for it no matter what you say. Like, they do help you, 100% they do. Yeah. It just becomes real. Like, I grew up to be a footballer, to play in stadiums with loads of fans. Hated it, absolutely hated it. I'm like, nah, this isn't football anymore, this is crap.
Standing in a room on your own. Victory!
Victory!
Victory! Jam sandwich!
Are you at Fleetwood now?
I am, yeah. Fleetwood doing 16s, 17s. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's academy, as much as I've slaughtered academies here, but it's just more what they do. But no, I love it. Coaching something I want to get into, management something I want to do as well.
Was Yatesy there with you?
Yatesy there. Yatesy 18s manager. So I do like the 16s. I'm just part-time. Yatesy does the 18s. Just got it not long ago.
So if you get into management, what kind of level of condiments are you leaving on the table?
You want to see the buffet they'll have. You can have what they want. I couldn't care as long as they're on the pitch.
I've got 3 loaves of Warbies, 5 jars of jam. Knock yourself out, lads.
Is it Roundtrees?
Never did me any harm.
Roundtrees, no bits.
Is that the one that?
That's the one. Strawberry. Aye, strawberry. No bits.
Your teeth, don't they?
No bits.
Yeah.
Brilliant, mate.
Yeah, top man, mate.
Cheers.
Thank you.